Has your business been the target of an ADA noncompliance lawsuit? Then there are two calls to make: your attorney and RCOR, the ADA compliance and certification experts. Go to adagurus.com, adagurus.com.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, welcome to Cosa Nostra Radio. We are a poetry family located at allpoetry.com. And I'd like to thank Kevin and the crew for giving us a place to call home. We believe in freedom of speech. However, not all of the views and opinions on the show by the guests and poets are reflective of La Cosa Nostra ownership and management and are of their own free will. Enjoy this La Cosa Nostra program.
Hello, this is LCN Radio. I'll be your host tonight, Razz, and we're a family located at allpoetry.com, which is the largest website in the world for poetry, founded by Kevin Watts. My co-host tonight for this public poetry reading would be the ever lovely Boo.
Yo,
Are you there?
Hey, what's up?
Hello, Boo.
I'm here. Hello, Razz.
Glad to see you here tonight. Off the screeners, everything not going viral. All depends on how much information you want out there on yourself. What's gonna the mainstream, you know?
Mhm.
So, how have you been, Boo?
I've been fine. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. Okay,
Yes,
kind of boring.
Easter Sunday.
Mhm.
Good. Someone wishes everyone a happy Easter. So why don't we bring in some of the callers on the line? One of our guest callers, he's a new host here. I think anyone might be able to recognize him by now. Corey, you hear me?
How's it
addicted.
going, brother?
Corey's addicted
buddy?
now.
I am addicted. I'm not going to lie. I'm loving this. I've literally found another family.
That makes me so happy. Oh, that's so cute. That's great. That's what I was here. And we're glad you're here.
How you doing, Boo?
Thank you so much.
How you doing, Boo?
Good. Yeah, good. How are you? We're glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here as well. How am I doing? I'm still quite tired. In the last 3 days, I've had about 10 hours sleep.
I feel you.
So,
Sounds about my average weekend, too. About 3 hours a day. Yeah, 3 or 4. I'm with you. But guess what? After tonight, you have the rest of the week off. Then you'll be missing it.
I want to say yay, but I'm actually going to say shit. I wish I wasn't having the time off. I'm enjoying this too much.
Yeah, it becomes addicted to blogging. Once you do it a couple of times, you just want to go on blogging. I agree with you there. We have another caller. You're unmuted.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, how are you?
How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good. I'm great. I was invited here by Boo. And
yeah, this is my friend
I
from
just
Clubhouse.
wanted to come in.
Him.
Yes. I just wanted to come in and share with you guys. You know, it's lovely to be. It's the first time I've been on Blog Talk in a while since I've had my own show on Blog Talk for a while, and it's awesome here. I don't know. What are you guys ready for today? Do you want to hear some love, sex, sensual, politics?
All of the above.
What
well, when you get around your turn, sir, we'll hear anything you want to share on the mic. Please drop your name again.
Tim. It's Tim.
My name is Tim, otherwise known as Mr.
Tim. Yeah. Yes, I remember you, Tim. I saw you over at the club. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
We're going to get around to your turn to drop the mic, and you can share whatever you want. But let me welcome the rest of the callers onto the line.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
You're unmuted.
All
right.
Next caller.
Someone's being shy.
Hello?
Hello? Hey, Dave?
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, it's me. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. How are you?
Great to hear from you.
Yes,
Happy Easter.
What's that? Oh,
Happy
thank
Easter,
you.
Dave.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Happy Easter to all you guys, too.
Happy Easter. Yes, and one more caller invite into the room for now. This one's been waiting. It's Mr. Dennis Allen.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hello, Dennis.
Hi, Boo.
Something scared you away forever.
Well, don't stay away, huh?
Yeah. I just keep stalking you.
Hello to Razz, and hello to Andrea if she's listening.
She'll be here shortly.
Oh, good. So, happy Easter to everyone, too.
Dennis.
You too.
I have Mark go first on recital because you were on hold the longest. So, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to proceed the commencement of the recital, we can start off now.
Yeah. Could we start maybe with Tim, just because I don't know how long he has? Razz.
Well,
Razz.
all right. I said Dennis was going to go first, but maybe since Tim, since he usually doesn't cough, I guess we could have him go first. Tim, do you have your piece ready to perform?
Yes, I'm here.
We're just gonna have to listen to it, by the way. Just everybody knows.
Can you hear me good? Can you guys hear me good?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Hey, clear as day, mate. Hey, clear as day.
All right.
I want everybody to know that we're not going to be able to see it, so we're going to have to listen to it. I want everybody to know that there's going to be no piece to read. Thank you. Okay, Tim.
All right. Again, would you guys like something sensual, something like out of this world, or like what would you guys like?
Out of this world. We'll take out of this world.
Okay.
Take it out of the world. Thank you, sir.
He's going to freestyle this. This is going to be amazing, okay?
I'm not going to freestyle, but I'll give you something that is embedded in the spirit. Man, what you selling over there? What? What you selling over there? What? I said, what you selling over there? Wait, nigga. I am a hustler. But I don't push rocks on my block, but I'm going to push this poetry non-stop until the soles of my Nikes get hot. Pushing this poetry at night under stage and street lights like Frank Lucas pushed Blue Magic on 116th and Lenox Avenue. And I'm putting my CDs in dead bodies. And I'm shipping them overseas, hoping to awake the Dead Poet Society. I got a variety like dubs, dimes, and 2 for 5s. But the most potent dose is when y'all get it live. And this one, it's going to keep you high for months. It's like flying around the earth twice without refueling once. I am a hustler, and I'm hustling for years to get paid, and I'm, boom, blowing up like a hand grenade with the pin out. Blowing up faster than the Fast and the Furious, doing the 360 spin out in a stolen car with the VIN numbers ripped out. I am a hustler. I even hustle for years in jail while waiting for bail. And for what it's worth, praise God, because I hustle for years in church. And I'm giving them an overdose of the Holy Ghost. Basically, I'm hustling for any ear listening. Like crack pipes, I leave ears sizzling. I can't fail. They're always listening. They don't need no braille. And if you deaf, don't panic, because I can still manage to spit this in sign language. I even sent my poems to Rosetta Stone so bloody falling as could take him home. So if you see me on the corner, please don't call the police. I'm just spitting a new piece that's potent. Inhale thoughts and exhale creation like I'm smoking. Clearly, the true drug dealers, they fear me because I spit that truth to the youth. And those telling lies, they won't come near me. And all of y'all listening right now ain't high yet. Maybe you just can't hear me, but I am a hustler. Boom. What y'all selling over there?
Oh my God, that's amazing. What a way to start.
That's the whole game of hustling. You want some outside feedback? We have the panel here, and you're welcome to stay and listen to part of the panel. So let's start off. What do you think of Timmy's performance? Corey.
Sorry, buddy. I wasn't sure if you were talking to me. I apologise. It was really it was a great flow. It came across as obviously it was like a rap shoot. It came across as fun, exciting, vigorous. It came across as very, very humorous as well. There was a lot of humour in there, and there was a lot of just simply, without obviously saying too much, it came across as if Tim was basically saying, "Fuck people that don't want to mess with me," kind of thing. It was just really funny. I could feel the flow, and I just felt it all the way. I thought it was fantastic. Great poem, bro.
Oh man, thank you.
You're welcome.
And that was wonderful feedback. What about you, Mr. Dennis Allen? How do you feel about this piece?
I really enjoyed it. It was refreshingly different, and I liked the change of voice while he was reading it. And he convinced me that he knows the streets, and I'd like to read it in person on the website, because I think there might have been a couple of things that I missed, but I really like the street language, and I wondered while I was reading it whether I was being hustled while I was listening and didn't even know it. So I really enjoyed it, and I like the rhyming, and I like the flavor of the rap in there. Ordinarily, I am not a fan of rap at all, because it's delivered so fast I can't understand it. But this was a poem that was, in the parlance of the 50s and 60s, very cool, dude.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. You know, I started out as a rapper, and I quickly transitioned into a spoken word artist. But what I didn't do was leave my rap abilities out of my spoken word artistry. And it gave me a different delivery. It gave me a different outlook. It gave me a different perspective. And it also helps me reach the other audiences that are, as far as the youth, that probably wouldn't give poetry a second look. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what, Tim? There's no pressure or anything. We're just going to tell you that if you wanted to join our group, you could. It's free. And then we put your poem out in the chat room so all of us can read it, and then we write you a comment. You also get your own page to display your poetry. Just something you could think about. I'll send you the information. It's not required, but some people it's easier for them to see it. So if you want to join us, we would love to have you, but I won't stalk you just yet.
Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. You know, I like to do different things. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of posting my work to be read, because I'm a performance poet. Most of my work is done on stages and on mics, and you know, that part.
That's
but
cool.
I'm always open to something new.
Yeah, we're glad you're hanging out with us. Either way, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
We have,
you know, a question. Quick question: Is there a limit to what you can share here?
As far as words, or what you can see?
Title night, you can only do one piece, but on the site you can have all your work shared by all the other writers on the site at allpoetry.com.
We go like around one round, and then if we have more time, then we go a second round. You know. So we have people that have, am I next to go, Razz? To comment?
Wait, we had David Prophet. What do you think of this? I know it's years after your time, or whatever that was, but you know, how about you, Mr. Prophet? How do you feel about this piece?
Well, I liked it. You know what it reminded me of? The gentleman has a voice that's real similar to that that song on Don Henley's album called Garden of Allah, and it kind of reminded me of that a little bit. I liked it a lot. It was really interesting, and I agree with everybody else what they said about the street language in it. It was really cool. Fascinating storyline in that piece, and I enjoyed the humor, kind of a dark humor in it too. And that was really, really a stellar read. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was one of the best poems I've heard in a long time.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely a fresh new touch of the kind of poetry we're used to. I would agree with David the Prophet there. Did you say you wanted to go next in the recital?
No, I wanted to comment. No, I wanted to comment.
Oh, the comment, yeah. It's your turn, and then I'm going to invite Lady A into the room.
Okay. You remind me of, the old school rappers like back in the day, like Grandmaster Flash and those old school type artists that you could understand them and you understood what they were saying and you got it. And they had something to say, something about society, something about life. They were real. And they were on the street corner, like you said there. And I Run DMC, back in the day, just those type of artists. And when you speak, people listen, and you're so fucking creative and on point. I can't help but get pumped up. I love what you said about the Dead Poets Society, that you're a hustler. You sure are a hustler with the words. I loved how you said the VIN numbers ripped out and how you gave props to the Holy Ghost. Incredible. And then you did an English accent right in the middle, the voices were incredible. And the liars don't have to come near you because you are the truth. I think you're off the hook, incredibly talented. I don't know why no one's ever discovered you, but they should. Great job.
Thank you. I've been through a lot, I've been doing this for a long time. I'll be 50 next year, and I've been writing and performing since I was 14 years old. And I've had a lot of people sell me bridges they didn't own. I've had briefcases open in front of me with lots of money, but the contract was never right. And, time will come. Time will definitely come.
Well, you're making a difference as it is, inspiring people, really. And, nowadays with the rap and all that, a lot of it I can't even understand, that mumble rap bullshit. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I can't understand what you're saying. No, what? I'm like, yeah.
Complicated bullshit.
Yeah, I can't understand it at all.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. I like when there's something to say. I like LL Cool J. That's my baby daddy. Anyway.
That's all what it's about. So motivational movement. I'll go with Deltron 3030. Here's the next caller. Lady A, are you there?
I am, and I just caught the last part of Tim's spoken word, and I have to say that I love the intensity and the enthusiasm of spoken word. It is performance poetry. It is brilliantly done. Your voice is exceptional, which lends a lot of credibility to what you're saying. I didn't get to hear the whole piece because I just called on the last little bit of it, but what I did hear, there was humor in it. There was the rhyme, the cadence that you spoke it with. I thought it was great, and I would encourage you to continue on. But I think there's a huge difference between, and correct me if I'm wrong, a huge difference between rap and spoken word. You can't even compare them, I don't believe. And with you doing this spoken word, I can see you on stage with this and at open mics, and it must go over very, very well. Great job.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Praise
I've
you,
gotten
Jimmy.
a lot. Oh, thank you guys so much. I've gotten a lot of power from audiences. I remember performing in the Bank Atlantic Center on Mother's Day of 2011, and that was the largest audience I've ever performed in front of. There was 8,000 people in the audience. And
Wow.
I opened up for a couple of old 70s R&B groups, Stylistics, Blue Magics, and Delphonics. I mean,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was so awesome. And it was emotional at the same time. I called my mom on the phone while I was on stage. And I had the whole entire crowd say Happy Mother's Day to my mom, because my mom was in New York and I was here in Florida. And it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
Amazing.
There's a wonderful cultural aspect to spoken word as well, I believe. And you know, the black culture, I think, is inspirational, and we can learn a lot from spoken word poetry, and I very much appreciate it.
You know, I just want to say this really quick. You know, if anyone has watched Karate Kid with Jalen Smith and Jackie Chan, Jackie Chan said something that was so prominent in that movie. He says, everything you do is kung fu. How you put your clothes on, how you talk to people, how you walk, how you talk, everything is kung fu. This is the same way I feel about this spoken word. Everything I do is spoken word. Everything I breathe is spoken word. Everything I see is spoken word, or what's well, because most of the things I write about are my experiences and other people's experiences. So I'm watching people constantly to gain material to write about. And,
excellent.
Yeah, keep that in your heart as a writer. Everything you do is about writing. The way you eat, the way you all of that. Yes. So
thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
You're willing to, you can stay and hang out. You want to comment? Feel free. We'd love to have you. If not,
sure.
You can.
Yeah, stay here, and we're gonna move on with Mrslilboo. After our lesson in what you have, Ralph Macherio, Mr. Miyagi, and Kung Fu Panda. Our next read is Dennis Allen. Are you there? Would you like to take the floor, sir?
Yeah.
We did this performance, but
betcha.
it's not the same unless it's coming from you. I'm glad you want to rectify this on the record, but it sounds like through your voice.
I'm here, and that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
This is called Indonesian Girl. White blouse and blue skirt, a 20-year-old female across the Celebes Sea, 1,500 miles northeast of Jakarta via ferry, 2 weeks, sleeping and living in a sock, urban cramping room rental space, measured few square meters, shared bathroom, squat toilet level with the floor, ceramic hole and flush water ladle, rinse parts and drip dry, bath tissue, a bad Western habit, pittance celery diet of flour noodles, parley skinny chicken scraps into a mostly vegetable diet, saving hope Allah's watching, hoofing it to work, 15 cents buys, fried rice, lunch, a bit of skinny chicken fat, greasing the grains the bones carry you where muscles can't. You persisted, planted yourself on a police sergeant uncle, his 8 kids crowd, a cement house, braving torrential rain, cleaning smoggy air. Asia has no long lines except boats, fishing. No one lines up. It's a pushing, shoving, free-for-all at the box office to see a censored movie. Parents bring me a kindergarten boy whose constant crying is satisfied with mint candy for 3 years. Constant feeding, every tooth is decayed black, swollen tonsils, and horrendous breath. My advice to parents, take to dentist. escape to the west not uttered. My mother-in-law is blessing water from Mecca, infused with her magic and floating jetsam herbal raft, promises cure for patients, nematode worms writhing in lower eyelids, only 100 rupiah hucksterism. A woman frying chicken, floured hands reaching into boiling palm oil, stirring the scrawny chicken parts, no spatula, tongs, or screaming. Roosters bloody from cockfights, no spurs here, only sharp claws. Winners eat losers, filthy money changes hands. End poem.
Yes, it's quite that savage type of culture there as to who's going to earn based on all the ways there are of the free market. But, Mr. Allen, I had a personal question for you. I heard that you went to Indonesia. Did that inspire this piece?
I lived in Indonesia for 3 years, and when I was 48, I married a 22-year-old and stayed married for about 26 years and raised 2 lovely children, and I speak fluent Indonesian. Why? You want to go there?
You go, boy. You want to go there and get a 20-year-old, Razz?
I'm trying to clarify some stuff on the record, but without you.
I do.
Yeah.
Go to Bali.
I'm more of a southern boy type of guy. I'll just stay here in Florida. Anyways, for the offer, Mr. Allen. Anyone would like to comment on this piece next? I believe we had Corey. What do you think?
I have to agree with what you said, Razz, in regards. The very first thing I thought of when I was hearing this was it was definitely some kind of marketplace. There was a lot of things going off, like obviously reading a few things out. There was stuff like chicken parts, obviously part of the flea market. You've got stuff like things like maybe magic tricks going on, talking about children being there as well. There's emotions inside it too. The final verse is what I actually really enjoyed the most, because I think this really gives it a proper flea market environment. Roosters bloody from cockfights, no spurs here, only sharp claws. Winners eat losers, filthy money changes hands. It sounds like there's some gambling that was going on here as well in this piece, and it also sounds like it's winner take all as well. Great piece, brother. Absolutely loved it. Fantastic. I'm just commenting on it now, and you're getting a follow.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for the feedback, Corey. And Tim, did you stay around to be a panelist? Would you like to comment on this piece by Dennis Allen?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
you
can hear you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, sir.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. This piece here is exactly what I was talking about. Everything is poetry. And like the gentleman just said, that sounded like an experience walking through a market in Indonesia and just picking up everything that he saw in his eyesight and just put that into feelings and words and things of that nature, like toilets at floor level. That was deep. Wow. Because over there, there's not really a standard toilet, if I'm not sure, but it's like, hey, it's a hole and handle your business. And it's awesome how he put that together. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Timmy. And what about you, Mr. Dave Prophet? What do you think of Dennis Allen's right?
Dave?
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay.
I really like this poem. I loved it, as a matter of fact. It kind of reminds me of when I was over in Korea. I was stationed up in near the DMZ, and you'd walk down through the streets of Tongdechon, and you'd see this very same thing, just exactly like it. A little different diets, but nothing like what Americans eat or how how they live or anything like that. But the Koreans are very honorable people, and I loved them, and they were just really warm and wonderful, and it just really brought back a lot of memories to me. I really liked it a lot, and I thought it was very well written out, and has a really a lot of really good descriptive lines in it, and an excellent storyline. So this was premier in my book.
Thank you very much.
It was great to hear that comment from someone who's experienced, did you say the Vietnam War, Mr. Prophet?
No, I was over in, I was in Korea. It was at the same time. No. Everybody makes that assumption. It's a Vietnam era station for me, and the Vietnam War was going on while I was over in Korea. It's just there's a huge army presence over in South Vietnam or South Korea right now. Always has been, but that's what I was doing.
Would that have been in the early 60s,
Dave, you
late
get
50s?
20-year-old girl, Dave?
It was in
What's
the
that?
50s.
In the early 60s, late 50s?
What's that?
Early 60s, late 50s?
What
your
year
station?
was it?
No, I was over there in middle 60s. I was over there in 1967, 1968.
Ah, yes. I see why I was confused. You're right. Because he still had presence there in Korea when Vietnam had already started. Very true. When you look at the history book, I wasn't even born yet. So that's how much I would know.
Well, rub it in.
Lady A, how do you feel about this piece by Dennis Allen?
I thought it was really interesting. I thought there was a lot of truth to it, that's for sure, and how it's interesting to know that somebody can travel across the world and find another culture and how they live. And a lot of the cultures like this one, we would be shocked, I think, to see how they live and how they eat and sleep and go to the bathroom. And I think that you put that out there really well. Excuse me. And I think the culture is so different than ours, right down to how they bring children up. And I'm sure it was a shock for you when you were over there. But it's a learning experience for certain, and we can't have the world conform to the way we live in North America. But, yeah, it was a great piece. I'm going to cough here, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you for that awesome comment, Lady A. And next on the recital is you, Mr. David Prophet. Are you ready to perform?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Well, could I
Your
comment
poem is on the board, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Boo.
I just want to comment for Dennis because
yes,
I
that's right. I forgot all about you, Boo. I thought you
forgot all about me.
said something.
See how he is? See how he is with the co-host? Yeah.
I know.
You won't be getting paid this month. No check for you this month, Razz. No check. Anyway,
I'll just bill
I was
myself by Western Union.
Yeah. You weren't really you weren't looking at this either way, good or bad, right? You're just giving us like a breakdown of because that's how it seemed, of the country and stuff. But you were very familiar with it. I know you got married, you met somebody there. I thought it told us a lot about you and your story and your life, and it was very well done, like almost a little tour through the country, poetically. So I thought you did a great job, and I'm glad that you came back to read it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Boo.
Okay.
Well, next is you, Dave Prophet. Your poem is on the board. You have the floor, sir.
Okie dokie. All right. Thank you. I may have read this before. If I have, I apologize for it. It's real special to me because I built this car, every nut, bolt, screw in it, and just like my Oldsmobile. And I came across it the other day, and I thought, hell, I'm going to read this one. I really like it. So, and it's called 55 and Drag. Born in 1955, she's still lucky to be alive. 1955 Chevrolet business coupe. She used to deliver phone books. At least that's the scoop. On the story of her that I got, I was the third owner that bought her for a princely sum of $400, much to the chagrin of so-called automotive scholars. The drivetrain was tired and it went away, and I gave her a transplant of a V8 that way. A new coat of black paint, some wheels and tires, and a 9-inch rear end set the tires on fire. So I took her down to the drag strip one day, and I still remember what Barb Shook did say. Is that your black 55 in the parking lot, Dave? You should take her to Woodburn. Are you brave? She smiled at me and laughed, and I thought about it, and the thought of how fast it might be, I'll have to admit. So I showed up down there with street tires and a 4-speed, more of a street machine than some race car speed. The first pass with the car, I missed second gear. Imaginary cat calls I did not want to hear. So I told myself the next pass would be better somehow. All I had to do was hit second gear. Holy cow, how hard could that be? Well, it did the same thing all over again. Rowing a 4-speed was becoming my bane. Reasons for automatics, not hard to see. So I changed some parts half a dozen times. The need to go faster always reigned sublime. Then my 327 finally gave up the ghost. She cracked a cylinder wall while giving her most. So I built a big block 427. Her idle music transports you into hog heaven. High compression roller cam, multiple carb, hard leader to the seat and make you a believer in big block Chevrolet power. A pair of 14-inch Goodyears it'd easily devour during our high gear burnout at 4,500 RPM. Smoke inside the car because it became a real problem. I had to turn on my fan and open the door. Billows of tire smoke out the door it would pour, looking for all the world like it was on fire. Breathe deep the tire smoke, it'll make you higher. And her perfume was the smell of tire gas, or tire smoke and race gas, and from the back end, she had a Goodyear wide ass. She leaves hard enough to make me sick at my stomach, and doing all this, her 60-footer would plummet. I get to half track and I'm really hauling ass. She unwinds herself in high gear and flies past. The mile-per-hour clock's wound up to high C. I love her when she sings like this to me. I let up on the throttle and her hips twitch a bit. From the slick sidewalls, the coilover, she admits. Reining her in is the scariest part of the pass. From 130 will pucker your ass. I run her up the return road, thumbs up and high fives. Everyone in the bleachers loves the 55s, and she hums to them in her staccato spiked idle. Race gas in her draft of the air she does bridle. I see a spectator over the railing breathing deep. He's laughing and waving, a little drunk, and wants to reap all he can get from his day at the track. With his friends at the tavern today, he looks back at a black 55 that spoke to him in a way he'll never forget her and what she did to him that day. And now she's infamous to some degree. She's always my star, but only to me. Sometimes I just open the door and sit in her seat. All the gauges and switches to my eyes do meet. And I hold her steering wheel in my hands. She extols, because she has parts of my heart and my soul and whole.
Yes, and it's wonderful when a man can love a real vintage model car like this. You know, it shows that there's a lighter side to Stephen King's Christine. It's just one of those man things. You can grow attached to a good vehicle, especially after the miles are all gone. I think you did this in a way that others can relate who like collecting sports, utility, mobiles. What do you feel about this piece, Corey, by David Prophet?
I'm gonna basically say what I'm writing at the moment in the comment section. Basically, I'll read that first, and then I'll go into the piece. It reminds me so much of a Smokey and the Bandit love story with man and machine, as long with Fast and the Furious. There is such passion between Dave and his car. You can tell that this is a journey, an emotional, personal journey that you've experienced, obviously, over time, unless you've just wrote this out of complete nonsense, just basically to make a story about your car, which either way suits perfectly fine with me. I love the description of the car. The start of it, born in 1955, she's still looking to be alive. That's a lovely little sentiment to basically say the car is obviously, I'm assuming, did you mean by 55 the parts were bought and then you've made the car and it's survived that long?
Well, no, I didn't. I owned it for, I didn't buy it in 1955, that's for sure. I bought it later on in my life. Right now I'm 75, so I bought the car back when I was in my 50s, early 50s, and I raced it for 12 years at the drag strips, and I put it all together myself. But there's a lot of fabrication that has to go into these cars. You can't just buy these parts and hold them on the car. You need to massage them sometimes. Sometimes you have to build total mounting systems for things like that, and it's just part of the.
It takes a lot of money and a lot of effort. And
yeah,
also,
a lot of money and a lot of effort, and
it's
to get. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It also takes a lot of love and tender and care as well, and I find that the most important thing out of the whole thing itself is you can tell that there's been a lot of TLC that's been put into this poem and the personal love between man and machine. Great poem, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome comment, Corey. And how do you feel about this piece, Tim? Were you around here? Or did you drop?
I think he had to go, yeah.
Yeah, I think Tim dropped. All right, so next would be Mr. Dennis Allen. What about you, sir?
I was totally mesmerized by not only the rhyming but the vivid imagery of the slicks that he mounted on the back of the thing and called it a wide ass, which I thought was a great reference.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you made the car female, but it seemed to fit all the way down, and I was absolutely enthralled. I thought it was a great poem because it told a great story, and it conveyed the love that you have for building something that really was a hot car and taking it to the drag strip, getting it ready, and putting it all together. And it was you conveyed that in the poem as a treasured experience. So I really liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Dennis, you just like wide asses, don't you?
No.
Yeah,
No.
you must be real comfortable in that car of yours, Dave.
That's why I went to Indonesia.
All guys love big butts. All guys love big butts.
Oh, you love big butts? Too funny.
No poetry by Two Life Crew.
I like big butts, and I
Right.
cannot lie.
We're going on with Peter here. Lady A, take us away. Your comment on Dave Prophet's piece.
Lady A has a little butt. Lady A, you there?
Sorry, I had myself on mute because I've been coughing, so I apologize. Dave has a way of writing in detail about the topics that he does write about. He's scientific, he's detailed with everything, and this is an interesting pen. And I can see, when you talk about drag racing, I find that I like drag racing. It's a fun sport to watch, and the work that was done on this car, and anybody else that has drag raced a car of their own. I think it's cars and men just go together, and a she car, they got the stuff. So good for you.
Yeah. You know something, Lady A, most of the drag cars that I know, their owners refer to them as female. It's just the dangers of the two species. So.
Is it dangerous?
Well, you know what I'm saying. The savagery and stuff. You get a gal pissed off at you. That's not a pretty sight. Yeah. So but that's what makes them fascinating. And when you work on them all the time and you put your blood, sweat, and tears into them, and you cut yourself and you bleed all over them sometimes, and it's just. And then you finally get it all together, and it does what you want it to do. It's kind of a mechanical love affair, I guess. I don't know, but I
agree with that.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've got to say is, I don't know whether you guys got this, but there was a film that came out in the late 90s called Gone in 60 Seconds, and there's a famous car, a Mustang GT 500. By the name of Eleanor, and I can see this is Dave's Eleanor.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than that, but yeah.
Eleanor Rigby. I almost did a connection there. Well, that's all been great feedback. What about you, Boo? You're the last to say here on Dave Prophet's Right.
I was just going to say, my brother, he used to work on cars. He used to rebuild them, too. Like, he had a 454, and Chevy Nova and his Chevelle and all that. And it does take time, sweat, tears, energy, not to mention talent. You can't just do this kind of shit unless you know what you're talking about and what to do. You can talk all the bullshit you want. To me, this is a manly man type of thing. This is the kind of thing that you would expect and want a man to do. But, it does cost a lot of money. I know that because my brother was broke all the time. Putting all kinds of things to make it go faster, racing it, I mean, it was his girlfriend, it was his black woman, and he was proud of it, and it is something to be proud of. You can do all that, and then it works. And they don't make cars like this anymore. You know what I mean? This is classic car that they don't make small. And I love these older cars myself, personally. So I think I totally get it. I love how you got choked up at the end. I thought, wow, this is real love. You know what I mean? This is love and affection and attention, and it touched me that it touched you. And I thought it was a beautiful read and a lovely story. And, hey, a lot of men don't even like to sweat anymore, period. So props to you.
I know.
Yeah,
thank you.
The puppies out there nowadays.
The Outside Viewpoint was Papa Terminus, and you have Weaver Dreams up on the board. They reported that they're like columns of different types, A, B, and C, and Papa thinks, maybe he's better off with some comment like that. But I think, Boo, you're right. All men love cars. That much is true. So
I put one in there too, you guys. I don't know if it's out or not.
And really have to send myself by Western Union next week. Why don't we move on with the recital? Corey, you have the floor.
Okay, guys. I was going to make a suggestion. It's up to you guys if you want me to do it right now. I do have the poem already saved. I've read the Edgar poem about 7 times today in other rooms. So if you want, I could read one that I've also put on the board as well, which I can just share now.
Whatever one you want to do is cool with us.
Okay.
Do one
Give me a second.
that's not on the folder.
Nice
just
lady,
click the link on the board so we all read along with you. when you recite?
Yeah, it's on the board, dude. Give me a second. I'll just get it, and I'll just put it on the board itself.
Okay.
It's one that I've read this a few times, but I really love this poem. And if you guys, obviously, you guys now know how dark and sinister my poetry can become.
Your ass is, yeah, we know how dark your ass is. Mhm.
This is one of my all-time favorite poems that I've ever done on my own. And if I could just bloody copy it, there we go. Right, just copy it to the board. Right, I'm just putting it on the board now, guys. There we go.
There we are.
Right. Okay, guys, this is called The Open Door. In a world of such darkness and despair, I lock myself behind lock and key, hide away from the world with such ferocity. For the world I have come to know and realize is catastrophic, nothing more than anatomic. Perhaps, maybe, once in a while I can creep out, look through the open door which is under lock and key. But the haunting dwellings which is lurking, perhaps, just perhaps, I can take a sneak, just a peek. If I don't like what I see, I can always escape back into the open door. Just one more peek, a quick sneak peek. No, I mustn't. I really mustn't. Maybe I should stay here under lock and key, leave my life to sway and rot away. At least my safety will always be secure. No news is good news after all. But the world for me is such a lonely place. Perhaps I just show my face. Just this one time. Maybe it will all be fine. Place my foot outside the door, my head round the corner. Is it safe? Is it secure? Is it okay for me to enter this realm once more? I'm not sure. I shall have to see. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe not, but just maybe. I walk down the stairs, I stand outside the door, I walk the streets, I pace the concrete floor. This isn't so bad. It seems to have changed. The world seems to have subsided. Maybe it's safe. Maybe it's secure. Maybe, just maybe. Walk down the road, still though being cautious. The world I am now entering, indeed making me nauseous, but I continue to step, one step at a time. This seems all new to me. Seems like I am reborn into a new world. Is this possible? Is this still planet Earth? Maybe, just maybe. It seems safe. It seems secure. Just wander that little further. Take the step one after another. I suddenly feel a smile upon on my face. This seems like a brand new place. Wow! I can't believe my eyes. The disguise of the world has fallen. The falseness has submerged, and the corruption seems to have convulsed. Slowly walking with a confidence in my step, I wonder what could this mean. Could this all be a dream? It may be, just may be. Enjoying my wander into the world, it seems a safe place now to be. Time to take a step further, time to accept that all is okay. Suddenly, as the smile played across my lips, screams sounded the outer abyss. The world was not all it promised my heart to be. Instead, a cesspit of drugs, screams, pain, and death. My mind was confused. My soul was caught in the affliction. Back to the open door, I thought. Back under lock and key. Perhaps give it another few more years. Stay back behind this bolted door until one day it may be safe. Maybe, just maybe. But until such time, behind this open door, I shall remain. End poem.
Yes, this is definitely a deep write, and it shows that whole Jungian theory of what there is of the door. They say psychologically you keep a place inside your own mind where you yourself are the only one who knows what it's like being behind that door. And I think plenty can be read here of what there is of true modern psychology. Mr. Dennis Allen, how do you feel about this piece by Corey?
I agree with you about the psychological implications of not wanting to step outside the door sometimes, and the responsibility for opening the door and discovering that's the reason that you want to keep it closed. And then finally you go back inside and secure yourself against the things that you recited that were reasons to keep the door closed once you got it open. It was a very interesting piece, and it had metaphors for those people who maybe don't want to reveal all that much about themselves. So I thought it was a great poem, and certainly worth rereading in the just a printed word. I didn't find that poem, even though I refreshed the page where people post their poems. So I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah. I'm
that
sorry about that.
Oh yeah, would you do that?
I apologize.
I'd like to read it. I'd like to read it and give you
Can
my
you
kudos.
Yeah.
Link happened with
on the
you,
board?
we'll post it on the LCN chat board for the locked door. But thank you for the great feedback, Corey. Once again, you're rocking. And what about you, David Prophet? How do you feel about this piece?
Well, I really liked it. I thought it was very interesting. I'll read you what I wrote on the comment. It's a very cautious narrative, throughout the poem. It almost has a dream-like structure to it, and it kind of morphs itself into a nightmare at the end, I guess. But I thought it was interesting. It had a interesting storyline to it, and one that kept my attention. Well, I thought it was really well written, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And thank you also to Dennis as well, because I forgot to thank him also. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, and let's take our commenting over to Lady A.
I still don't see the poem. Am I missing
Corey's
it?
piece?
I don't see the poem.
Lady A? Yeah,
I'm going to put it up again.
Yes, I thought this was a really very interesting piece. I gleaned quite a bit from it. Like this metaphor for the door, the room, the locks, and the keys. It reminds me of someone who suffers from agoraphobia. They're not able to go outside. It takes a lot for this person to even open the door, to peek outside, to see what it's like on the other side of the door. And then once that takes place, once that precious first step takes place, there's wonder. And, oh, my gosh, look at this and look at that. Look how the world has changed after so long. And he becomes more courageous. He's braver to come out past the door to live. And this is what I got out of this. And to walk down the road and to see all the different things that are attractive to him, whether it's the sky or trees or kids or whatever he's looking at. He's realizing that nothing happened to him when he walked out the door. He didn't die. He wasn't struck by lightning, and he possibly could live outside of this door, outside of the room that he's self-imprisoned. And I think it was a really great way of putting speaking to this topic. I could be entirely wrong, but this is what I get out of it. And but until such time behind the open door, I shall remain. So he goes back in because it's going to take several times for him to get comfortable to stay out from the door. I thought it was really great. That's my little dream of this poem. It was really well done.
Thank you, Lady A. Yeah,
thank you, Lady A. Great feedback.
Sorry, Razz. It's you basically nailed it on the head. But the only difference is as you can see, the character eventually comes out. It's very, very cautious, but eventually he comes out. And when he comes out and he realizes maybe things aren't as bad as it once thought. But then, as it says here, suddenly as a smile played across my lips, screams sounded the outer abyss. He hears something that triggers him again to run back home and stay behind again for a while longer. But you definitely nailed it on the head. So thank you very much.
Thank you for a great poem.
Yes, it does have that kind of Kafkian social phobia thing going there, Corey, definitely. So, Boo, what about you in this piece?
I mean, I don't want to make you feel embarrassed or whatever, but I was just going to say that this, you've come a long way in the 4 years that I've known you. I'm impressed. I never thought in a million years you would want to do the show, let alone host it, and then come out of your shell, because you have to admit you were very much in shell. And
yes,
I'm amazed and impressed with everything you've really improved tremendously, and I'm proud of you for doing that and coming. It's not easy to do when someone's depressed or whatever whatever case is there. So yeah, props for that, because it's not easy to do, especially in a big group of people. Also, maybe I should stay here under lock and key, leave my life to sway and rot away. I know so many people that just go to work and come home. They don't do anything else. All they do. And these are people who you would think have great big personalities. They're very talkative and social, but they don't even like to go out at all. I know I have a lot of friends like this, and it surprises me when they tell me this. I don't go out. I don't do anything. I just go home. I just go to work. That's it. And I'm like, wow, because they seem so, outgoing and stuff. So you never really know, who's hiding. And I can tell you this, when I was 14, really depressed, long story, but I actually lived in my closet for 2 years. I'm not even lying. My parents would even bring me my food in the closet. So I know it's pathetic, but it's true. So I know what it's like to want to be hidden away. The reason I liked it there, because it was dark, it was small, I felt safe. Maybe that's where you feel in this place, safe. And because people are rude and people are judgmental, and people don't even have any couth anymore. Like, they'll just be pointing at you right to your face, talking about you. I hear it all the time where I go. And so I just, to be able to come out of it towards here at the end, maybe have some hope, you can inspire somebody else, because you've come a long way, and I'm proud of you. Good job.
Thank you, Boo. Thank you. That really means a lot.
You're welcome.
I've been in the closet when I was a kid, but it wasn't for 2 years, Boo. That's very noble of you to come forward with your personal life stories. We have a caller on the line.
Well,
hey, it's Boston. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Boston. 2 nights in a row.
Boston.
Hi, guys.
Hey, lucky us.
Yeah, well,
Lady, who's going to go next, Razz, please?
There's one more caller. Unmuted.
Ich bin Auslander. How are you?
Mr. Papa Terminus?
You got it. How are you guys doing today?
Guilty. Yeah, happy Mr. Papa.
It's nice to finally hear the master himself. How's it going, Papa?
Thank you. I'm
the
doing
master
okay.
himself.
Oh, wow. My ego just went about 5 notches.
Basically, guys, this guy has commented on so much of my work.
Yeah. Your work is really amazing. I read that. I read this one that you put in there, and I really found it. One thing that I was, when I was reading it, and I kept thinking it's an introvert's anthem.
Good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. It's true. Yeah.
Because I know Lady A wants to read, but that's my comment. It's an introvert's anthem, really.
Everyone can have their turn.
Yeah. Okay, ready, Lady A? And Boston, you
Yeah.
can send it to me, the poem.
You may send. I have it on the list.
Okay, even better. Thank you.
Okay.
My voice is a bit scratchy, so I hope it's you can understand me. This poem is called His Royal Highness. Upon the Serengeti, His Royal Highness with cashmere brown mane rests, pained, plagued, perplexed. Green eyes see a habitat unchanged for 1,000,000 years while deep in reverie. Tumbleweed grasses reach to lands unknown where cheetahs run, where man harmoniously lived with untamed wildlife like antelope and giraffes. Protectors of the land, massized, stabilized, preserved, and prized. His Royal Highness lion, ponderous life now seen. Protectors have perished with COVID-19. Great Serengeti, a haven for beasts, fowl, and man, who now will defend. Lion heard a story where he would, under waterfalls, lay down with a lamb. Spoken about the end of times, viruses and plagues swallow up the land. Fools have ruined nature's good, destroyed all hope in man, laboratories conjure destruction. To what end? Lion asked. Flicked ebony oil spills in the ocean, chemicals orange and rust, poison rivers, all animals quiver, dumping onyx waste, gas lines underground, greed consumes until we drown. Upon the Serengeti, His Royal Highness rests, heartbroken, and lion ponders, perplexed. He watches wildebeest, zebra, buffalo, and gazelle, one of Africa's 7 wonders, the Great Migration, all gone to hell. All the beauty that is Serengeti now a memory of the past. Lion cries and wonders why. He now waits for his time to die. End poem.
Poem.
Yes, that was a wonderful piece, Lady A, and it proves a little bit about everyone's state being a man and going through all this tremendous ecological loss that we've been suffering lately. Dave Prophet, what do you feel about this piece by Lady A?
Oh, I thought this was really appropriate. I'm all for the animals and not for the hunters over there or anybody else that's over there screwing around shooting animals for sport and stuff. That just doesn't make it with me at all. I wrote a similar poem about that where I was contracted to hunt poachers and stuff, and I enjoyed writing too. But this is really good, Andre. You've really captured the essence of this, and the descriptions in it are spot on, really good. It's easy to follow. It pulls you into the storyline, and it's understandable. It's not shotgunned with a bunch of abstract metaphors that detract from its meaning, and I appreciate that. I think you did a really good job with it. I like it a lot.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. Prophet. And what about you, Dennis Allen, and this piece by Lady A?
I love the images of the lion, king of the, well, there's no jungle on the Serengeti Plains, but also what I liked is the intimate descriptions, like tumbleweed grasses reach to lands unknown where cheetahs run. And you set us up talking about where man harmoniously lived with untamed wildlife like antelope and giraffe, protectors of the land, Maasai, stabilized, preserved, and prized. And then the lion is looking around and he doesn't understand why the protectors have perished with COVID. And not only that, it's a man-made disease you get across as laboratories conjure destruction. To what end, the lion asked. Slick ebony oil spills in the ocean. That's what I'm saying. Your images are so vivid. You know, that's actually what the oil looks like in the ocean. Chemicals, orange and rust, prison rivers, all animals quiver. Onyx waste, gas lines underground, greed consumers until we drown. So, the king of the beast, we ruin his environment, and he's wondering why we do that, to what end. So I thought it was a superb poem, and I enjoyed it very much listening to you read it.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Thanks.
Wonderful.
Pleasure.
You to say so. All of that insight. Dennis Allen for Lady A. What about you, Papa Terminus? How do you feel about this piece?
You know, this reminded me of, and I'm going to age myself, of the indigenous chief that was looking at the land and seeing how, and the single teardrop that fell from his eye. It's very similar to that. That's how I felt when I read it. It felt like that the lion just wonders, you know, basically what the hell happened. I mean, I was the king, and I used to have all this world was before me, and then all of a sudden, you know, COVID-19 came and changed everything, and he doesn't understand because it was a man-made disease, and it just all the environmental aspects of this, slick ebony oil spills in the ocean, chemicals, orange and rust, poison rivers, all animals quiver, dumping onyx, waste gas lines underground, greed consumes until we drown. That is powerful. And I applaud your ecological aspects of this poem, Lady A. I really do. Great, guys.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Yeah, I would agree. It had to be man-made. In 2 years' time, it's now just disappearing out of nowhere, and you don't know that about any ongoing fatal diseases.
Well, it's not just it's because we have vaccines. I don't agree with you guys. I'm going to say that. I can't sit here and listen to that. It's
all
not
right,
disappearing
we can't have a discussion. Maybe you're right.
Anything.
But thanks for the comment,
yeah,
Papa
it's not a place for it.
Corey, what about you and Lady A's piece?
This is absolutely beautifully, vividly compelling. The final two lines, I really, really love this. All the beauty that is Serengeti now, a memory of the past. Lion cries and wonders why. He now waits for his time to die. It sounds to me like man has abused animal for so fucking long, like so long. Mm-hmm. And man is getting their comeuppance now in regards to biblical times, in regards to, I believe, I'll give you an example. If there is a man that is lying dead at the side of me, yes, I'm going to be frightened because I don't know what to expect. But I won't be as sad if it's a stranger. Whereas an animal, you see a dead animal straight away, I'm getting upset. And the reason why I'm getting upset is because I believe that animal is God's creatures that we are supposed to protect. And unfortunately, we can't even protect ourselves. And this piece completely symbolizes that. Fools have ruined nature's good, destroyed all hope in man. Laboratories conjure destruction, to what end lion asks. And then in regards to lion ponders life now seen, protected to perish with COVID-19. Basically, lion believes that he is the dominant king of the jungle, or king of the Serengeti in this case. And for many, many, many years, man has been the top of the food chain. Well, it looks like that Mother Nature now has taken its place back, and man is either second or in third place. But apart from that, this piece was absolutely beautifully compelling. I love the vivid imagery in regards to the piece. I can actually imagine myself being on the Serengeti with this, and I can just see a lion sat there looking around with the wind howling, with the sun blazing, and the lion looking around, and there's no human in sight. Beautiful, beautiful piece.
Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome, Lady A.
Awesome, Corey. It was great of you to get passionate there with Lady A's right. Yes, that proves what a deep writer she is at heart when having others respond. So, Boston, what do you feel about this piece?
Well, I just think it's just a travesty. When you look at the lion, the picture that you have there, it's just the sadness. And I hate that people kill animals for sport, and I hate that they do it on protected ground. I mean, just recently there were wolves that were killed outside of Yellowstone because the law was changed, or something was changed, and as soon as they took a step over the boundary, they were shot, and like 20% of the wolves are killed. And it's not game hunting. It's just ridiculous. So the state of the world and all that's going on is just, like with what the poem before that was A Locked Door. It's like, you can't even look outside without wondering if something's coming at you, and it's just it's the saddest state of affairs. It's just heart-wrenching. I don't like people that kill animals for food is one thing, but to kill it for sport is just, there's no words to describe how horrible that is. And they're just here to survive and live. They don't know that someone's, out gaming for them. I mean, it's just sad. I don't know. It breaks my heart. So.
Thanks, Boston.
Yeah. It hurts. But if I saw a dead person on the ground, I would be grieving, though. So, unfortunately, I don't agree with that either. But, and watching all this going on over in Ukraine, it's just, I can't even freaking imagine. I mean, we had what just happened, with the subway, and all I could think of is people in Ukraine are being bombed hourly, multiple times. And this was one situation. When 9/11 hit us, I kept thinking over the Middle East, this is something that's normal to them, or they're not like shocked, So it's just when it hits in your own backyard, it's just I can't even, I don't know, I have words to explain how sad it is, and how a lot of us just want to lock the door and not go outside because you're wondering, is the world really as bad as it is? And you know what, it is in a lot of ways. Some ways it's not, but in a lot of ways it is. So it's anyway. My heart's racing right now just because of the pain. It's just sad. It just saddens me.
Okay, guys, settle down. Boo.
Sorry.
No.
Be good.
Boo.
Be good, or they're going to get the strap again.
It's your turn to comment on Lady A.
I was just going to tell you. I know. I'm going to go right now. 513 was on hold. You want to see who that is? I agree with Boston. It's sad, and you shouldn't tell her to calm down because everybody feels differently about this, and some people are more passionate than others. So we never want to say that. You know, we respect everyone's opinion and whatever they believe in. And I am with you on that one. It's sad enough that we're, you know, the animals. It's just, everything you said, I just copy and paste. I agree. It's sickening. It's sickening. We're greedy countries. People just don't care that we're step over it. And I don't know how many animals have died. I read it somewhere the other day, and I was fucking shocked from Corona. And it's just, you know, the whole thing, the whole last whatever many years has just changed the world forever. It'll never be the same. And you wrote it with such compassion, so descriptive, so colorful. Like, how could your heart not hurt after reading this? Beautiful job. I know you love animals. I know you love people. So your heart shows here. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we could go on really for hours, but it was appreciated, Lady A, the right, and who's the caller? You are unmuted. Would you like to speak up, sir? Or ma'am, who's here?
It's anonymous. It's anonymous with an
Anonymous.
Yay, anonymous.
What's up, guys?
Not to be confused with the other anonymous friend. Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
Who's another one anonymous? I love it, man. That's great. It's such a cool name. I love it. I can't believe I came that this came to me, you know. But anyway, how's everybody tonight?
Good.
Roger was good.
I am
Happy Easter, and I'm
dealing with some health issues right now, so but I am that's why I haven't been able to call in. So go on for sure. I'm just listening. I'll read some and comment if you'd like.
Sure, we would love that. Thank you for coming.
I would say too, Happy Easter, because I've been somewhere else since Friday, and I'm supposed to observe the actual holiday being a Christian, but I forgot all about the calendar until this morning. I saw it on Easter Sunday. I didn't know what to say really. I heard the Pope, he made a statement that the killing has to stop, the killing, and that's how coherent we have been lately, maybe, I think, the whole world. So,
Boston. Do Weaver next. Yeah, and then we're going to do Weaver after Boston. Boston, you want to drop?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Do you want me to get it?
And then Titus has been waiting. I got it for you. And then Titus has been waiting.
Hey, hold on a minute. I gotta go. I gotta get some water. I'll be right back.
Okay. And then we'll do Titus after. I'm gonna grab Boston. Okay. I see your. How can I miss your picture? It's so. Not to make you embarrassed. I feel weird. The picture's really beautiful. It's probably one of the best profile pics I've ever seen here. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
A photographer did it, so that's why it wasn't mine.
Okay, but you're hot. You know, I okay. So I just put the wrong thing. See, you got no.
That's okay. I got it.
All right, cool. Thank you. I don't know what I'm doing.
La la la.
Okay.
Ben Weaver and Titus.
This was a poem that the prompt was about Victor Hugo wrote a poem about his daughter that his daughter's only 19 and she just got married. She was with child and her and her husband, they're both capsized in the Seine, and he tried to save her, but her skirts were so heavy that they both died with him trying. And her father was out of town with his mistress and found out a few days later. So I think it was 3 years after this happened, he wrote his poem in the bottom of this piece. So
wow.
So this is off of that, and it's called A River Running Nowhere. And she was 19. She died in September, so this is the beginning of that. September's quarter moon wrapped the spring of her dawn, tossing a millstone around her father's neck. laid down a dusty dirt path, mapping travelers into an imploding gulf of innocence. Bursting glinted dirge beneath a salt-sharp canopy, along with the drenched whimpers of charcoal skies. While winds whispered to the broken yoke for the cradle. While winds whispered to the broken moving heart. Does that bother anybody else?
Keep breathing.
I don't think they're. Yeah. Huh?
What the hell?
I don't know. It's
What
just
is
somebody
that?
loud. It sounds like somebody's doing something. All right. While winds whispered to the broken yoke for the cradle of his arms, agony screamed from hills ached into an empty basin housing chilled rivers. Junctions forged bedded fallout that blocked seasons milling silvers, country, or castle. Passing on the baton, storing a carriage, cooling a baby's breath. Instead, the heights of aspens lined the same bank, notching the toll of lifeless limbs. Punctured veins soon swept, caking crusted streams. Skins thickened and leathered swiftly, hiding from the mint-welled light, and drew weight upon death's shoulders that bled through. The pale shiver froze his children. The drought of many moons guided his crippled legs to break before her stone's edge and dress her crib. Gathered nearby a bouquet of flowering berries, backed by greenery stalked and an herb-like scent, flurrying the dainty stems of pink heather. Placed by the wrinkled brokenness fed, a father's far-reaching, trembling hand. And poem.
Yeah, there's a whole narrative here, and it's done with a cinematographic kind of touch. You know, you go from scene to scene until you have the end result, and what there is of that hand, how it had been placed there, what kind of mysteries were involved to lead to that end shot. It makes it all that more fascinating to look over again. How do you think about this piece, David Prophet?
Well, I think it's a beautiful poem, and there's a special place in a father's heart for his daughter, and it shows in this poem that Boz wrote. I really liked it. She's really good at people stuff, people poetry, and that sort of thing, and she's good at illustrating, what's going on with their hearts and their souls and stuff. And I thought this was really well written. Of course, I'm a big fan of hers anyway.
Thank you. Sweet.
Yeah, you're welcome, Buzz. I just, I've known this lady for a long time, and everything she writes is golden as far as I'm concerned. And this is no different. I really enjoyed listening to you read this, Buzz. You did a good job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful applause for Boston. What about you, Corey?
Boston, sweetheart, you've done it again. Yesterday you did a very, very similar Poe-esque piece. And this time, I don't know how you've done this. This is quite creepy, really, because the two poets that I really adore is Edgar Allan Poe, my number one, and William Shakespeare, my number two. And this is very Shakespearean. And the dialogue is absolutely beautiful. The vividness of this piece is just absolutely fantastic. There's a few lines here that I would wish to recite back to you. September's quarter moon wrapped to a spring of her, down tossing a milestone around her father's neck. There's elements of pain here as well as there's elements of nature. I have noticed that there's elements of nature here as well. But mostly it sounds like a personal piece in regards to a loss by any chance, or some kind of problems going off within the character's life. There is a lot of darkness here again, which is probably why I'm so drawn to it. In Instead, the heights of aspens lined the scene's banks, notching the toes of lifeless limbs. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of darkness playing around here, and that's probably why I like it so much. Boston, I think I've already gave you a follow. I'm sure I gave you a follow. I have. And I'm going to comment right now. Very brilliant.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah, sometimes it's like we've known each other for years, and it's only been an hour. But great feedback. What about you, Dennis Allen?
I just found the poem, and while she was reading, I had so much noise and interference here that I'm not. I'll just go ahead and type my response in on the poem, since I can now see it in front of me and read it, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Allen. And Lady A, what do you think about this piece?
Sorry.
Lady A?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I was muted. I think this is beautiful. I think the color that's weaves itself throughout the poem is great. It's vivid. It's metaphor. I like birthing a lengthy dirge beneath a salt-charged canopy, rung with the drench whimpered from charcoal skies. Just the color in that and the image in here is part of her talent. I like, while winds whispered to the broken yoke for the cradle of his arms. So, she could be talking about the actual countryside, the riverside, and the things that she's seeing in here. But I think when I read the last line, it's a poem about her father and how he compares to all of these things. But in the end, in the end, she just wants him to love her, his arms around her, and placed by the wrinkled brokenness fed a father's for reaching trembling hand, like a do-over almost, wanting to make it perfection, like nature is. I could be entirely wrong. That's what I got out of this. It was beautifully written, with lots to think about. I mean, we could dissect each line and each verse, but I think the metaphor for her father and their history together, or lack thereof, and then coming together in the end, perhaps.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me read the poem that was the prompt, and then it'll help give you some understanding. It's really short. Sure. It's called Tomorrow at Dawn. Tomorrow at dawn, when the countryside brightens, I will leave. You see, I know that you're waiting for me. I will go through the forest. I will go across the mountains. I cannot stay away from you any longer. I will walk with my eyes focused on my thoughts, without seeing anything beyond, not hearing any noise, alone, unknown, back bowed, hands crossed, sorrowful, and the day for me will be like the night. I will watch neither the gold of evening fall nor the faraway boat sailing towards Hofleur. And I will arrive. I will place on your grave a bunch of green holly and flowering heather. So, and when I researched it, and found out that he was basically having an affair, well, she died, but he read about it on I think it was on a train, but he read about it and didn't even know she had passed like 3 or 4 days. And so he grieved for a few years. And then he just poured this out where it's like he needed to go to her grave. So it took him that long before he could even get there. So to me, when it says in here, I'm coming for you, I can't stay away any longer. So the whisper of the winds and the fact that she died so tragically in the Seine River, I took, liberty with that. She died at 19, so to me it was a quarter of her life, so the quarter moon, and September was the month she passed. So that was in the beginning. Of course, the millstone in the Bible, it's just like it's thrown around your neck, and it weighs you down. It sinks you. So anyway, and it's like the dusty dirt path. It's like his travels in a floating gulf of inescapable darkness. When you lose somebody, I don't care who it is, or it's like your life implodes into a gulf of inescapable. You cannot escape that darkness. So,
yeah.
Right. So that's where my thoughts came from. And I can hear him yelling from the hills, when you scream at the hills, the agony. And it's just like, and the River Seine is like the lifeless limbs. I don't know how many people die in the river because the boats capsize and they have those big skirts. And I'm just thinking, they're all soldiering there, and how many people have died because of it. So anyway, there you go. And having her with child, the passing on the baton, meaning that, her life, the lineage didn't keep going, showing on, passed on a baby's cooing breath. So they lost a child. So, he lost his son-in-law, his second child, his daughter was his oldest daughter, and a grandchild.
Beautifully done.
Thank
Beautifully
you.
done.
Mm-hmm.
She's a brainiac.
Great, Boston. And we have a couple of more wanted to speak up on this piece. Papa Germanus.
Papa. You're on mute. Try Anonymous. Maybe he heard it.
All right. Anonymous, what about you? Is Papa's inactive? Or did you come back to the phone? Anonymous?
Maybe not, but I can say something.
Guess they're both preoccupied. Yeah, Boo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You have a way of when you write your poetry, you make us feel what you feel. And I think that, you're a tough chick, but you have such a sensitive side, and you're so big-hearted and caring, and that comes through in your writing to me. I did agree with Lady A that I'm maybe wrong, but about the father, but then you explained it, read the poem. So that explained it. But I was thinking maybe it was kind of a call to your father as well. Because, we all want our parents to love us so much, and we're always trying to impress our parents no matter what age we are, right? And this whole story is so sad. I mean, and then not just one, but 3 people he lost. And you brought through the compassion and the words, but his love. But someone stop watching the dishes. What the hell?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You need to mute yourself.
I think someone's doing dishes.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I'm going to say that again. As soon as I can mute everyone. Okay, so what I was saying was, you have a... Okay, what I was saying was, you're a tough chick, but you have a soft side, and a very beautiful soft side, and you're very caring, and you care about people, and you care about their feelings, and that comes through when you write. I too, like Lady A, thought this was about your father, possibly, but since we read the poem, and I realized probably not. It's very well written. It's very elegant. It's you just write. You make us feel what you're feeling, and to lose one person is bad enough, but 3, the poor guy. The whole story is sad, and I thought elegantly written and very graceful, like I always tell you, but it's true. And a beautiful, really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry about all the noise.
Yeah, I just feel the pain. I'm sort of an empath, so I just kind of take on stuff. Yeah.
Did you say you're an empath?
Yeah, I just feel when people are terrible. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You're
very intuitive. Yeah. Well, that's
bring
good
myself
quality.
back to reality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you find people take advantage of that sometimes?
I won't even go there, but yeah.
Yeah, you've been burned. No, me too, girlfriend. Believe me. I've been burned, but I keep doing it. You know.
I know. Well, it's hard not to.
It's hard. It is hard. I don't want to think negative about everybody on the planet, you know, because unless it's going to be cold and closed off, I don't want to be like that. But I feel you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Razz, you're welcome. So you ready for Weaver?
Okay. Yeah, but I think Papa had something to say. Are you there, Papa?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead,
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. We hear you.
Boston, this was a very emotive poem. It really struck home. Anybody who has lost a child or or even a newborn. I mean, I've lost newborns, and this poem was very poignant. It really speaks to me about a father's love, and even though he wasn't there for her, he feels the pain weeks afterwards, and he literally wants to scream from the hills and just be so. He's so distraught, and Victor Hugo really knows how to write about the human side of the human emotions, and I could sense that you are definitely an empathic person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am.
So we're going to have to cut the comments down if we're going to get through the rest of the pieces. I'm sorry, guys, but we're going to do 4 at a time now as to the responses for the remainder of the show, unless something changes with the director. And our next piece is from Weaver of Dreams. Boo, would you happen to have a soundtrack?
I do. Is that the poem?
Yes, I'm all ready. And we can have it play on the radio with Weaver of Dreams.
Trying hard to keep in step, ignoring the beating drum that only I can hear, while donning a persona acceptable to all. A discerning eye is the one thing that I fear. You might label me asocial if you saw through my facade, but the actress in me hides my lack of empathy. I change like a chameleon to deflect your piercing gaze, as I mimic caring, compassion, and pseudo-sympathy. People come and they go, one-dimensional at best. Years have passed, and I know I don't love, I tolerate. Divorces and discarded friends highlight that fact. Although I don't feel hate, I merely denigrate. I lavish my attention on you, listen to your facile tales, build you up, and for the few weeks before you bore me, I'll pretend we have a relationship. Then I'll tear you down. You'll think the 40 years, and I'll be free. I may say I want to change for you, connect and care. For the briefest of moments, I might even think I could. But there's no need to set myself up to fail once more, as clear hindsight and history dictates I would.
Eek. People like you kill me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Everyone beats to a different drum. I like songs from different strokes, but what you have here, I guess there's so much of your own personal history that you have to overcome successes from the losses, and keep on striving to make it to that next new day. So, David Prophet, what do you feel about this piece?
Well, I don't know what to think about it. It's good. It's well written and stuff. I don't know if I understand what she's driving at here or not, but I don't know. It's just people come and they go, one-dimensional at best. Years have passed, and I know I don't love. I tolerate. Divorces and discarded friends highlight the fact, although I don't feel hate, I merely denigrate. I don't know if she's complaining about herself, or it sort of sounds that way sometimes, but and then the next, the fourth stanza says, I'll love my attention on you, lavish my attention on you, listen to your veiled tears, whatever that is, build you up, and for a few weeks before you bore me, I'll pretend we have a relationship, then I'll tear you down. You'll think the fault is yours, and I'll be free. I've known some women like this. But I don't know, maybe this is just her way of purging her soul or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I really don't know what to think about it. I like it.
You know what this is about, Dave. It's about movers, I think.
What?
You know, you could be this kind of woman, right? So this is kind of like, I don't know. I kind of think you and me see a lot of the like on this one, like these kind of women just, you know, not her, not the poet. I mean, that's what she's complaining about, you know, fake people, I think. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry, I mean, interrupt.
You want me to say something? Oh, wait. Dave, you there?
Dave?
Yeah, I'm done with it.
For a second.
Okay.
Dave, do you want to finish your comment, sir?
No, I'm done with it.
Okay, sir. And Corey, how do you feel about this piece, Weaver a Dream?
Can you guys hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, Corey, we hear you.
Right, I wasn't sure if I was muted or not. I apologise. It's a very, very nice piece. It comes across to me very Jane Austen in some of the way the wordplay is played. It comes across as very Pride and Prejudice. It sounds like somebody that's basically had some bad relationships in the past, and somebody that basically has basically had enough of those kind of times, and before they get hurt themselves, they're going to take the worry away in the first place by, like it says here, I'll pretend we have a relationship, they will tear you down. You'll think it's your fault, and then I'll be free. In other words, before the person has a chance to hurt the person, the woman in question herself, it sounds to me like that person is going to take away that possibility of betrayal already within herself. And the line I must quote is, I change like a chameleon to deflect your piercing gaze as I mimic caring compassion and pseudo-sympathy. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. But the one line that really got me, but the actress in me hides my lack of empathy. In other words, it sounds like that she's basically put herself on a pedestal, and at the same time, she's not allowing people to take her for a mug anymore. And I just think it's a really, really nice piece. Thank you very much.
There's so much anyone can take, really, my friend. That could be a message there. What about you, Dennis Allen, and this piece?
I thought it was an interesting confession of a sociopath.
Yes.
That,
a narcissistic sociopath.
Well, I know, but I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that you can write, a good poet can write in other people's voices, but the speaker says that I might label her a social if I saw through her facade. The actress hides her lack of empathy. Well, that's the classic definition of a sociopath. And she's I think, beating up on herself over over not only revealing how she feels about other people, but that there's a kind of an underlying sadness here that I grasp. End comment.
Can I say
All right. Can I say something too, please?
All right, we have one more comment. We're going to try to go by fours because there's some more reads. So, Boston.
Okay, go ahead, Lady A.
What was Lady A?
Oh, I agree. I would agree with Dennis because when I read this through, again, it was classically sociopathic. And then I thought, is the writer trying to just pretend to be this way, or are they really this way? And then I went up to read her profile first. Although I may seem all that is flower, power, and mellow, I'm mad, bad, and dangerous to know. And although I think you're all fine, very fine fellows, I'll grind you beneath my wings when words flow. So, yeah.
Kind of a man-hater poem.
Yeah, a lot of anger, but I think sociopath is a good way to describe this particular poem because of her admitting that she has no empathy. Mm-hmm. She has no...
It's like a warning.
Yeah.
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 She's been with enough, probably. Or, it's kind of derogatory towards men.
I don't know if it's just towards men. I think it's towards everybody. And to be honest, I don't think I don't see man here. I think it's just people in general. Because it says people come and go. And to me, it's narcissistic and sociopathic. And it's like, I'll lavish you what narcissist does, and then you'll think, you think I'm trying, you think I'm important, but when I bore you, they do the discard. And it's like, why set myself up because nothing's going to change. And so it's matter of fact, this is the way it is, and, you can live with it or you cannot. It doesn't matter to them.
It's also like a game, that is played so that when she gets bored, she can do her thing, and then then the person can be blamed for the end of the relationship. Yeah, and my mother was narcissistic and a sociopath as well, and it was a very difficult person to know and to live with, and no understanding because there is no empathy at all.
No.
But anyhow, this was certainly a thought-provoking poem, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. And a discerning eye is the one thing that I fear. So somebody who can see through all of it is the person I fear.
Yeah, I agree.
We're trying to keep an order here. 4 per comment. You and
right. I agree.
What does she say?
Okay, so Titus. Ready for Titus?
All right. You just want to play Titus then? Okay, let's do Titus, A World of Our Own. You have the SoundCloud ready, Blue?
Yeah.
There was a song like that in Alice in Wonderland.
A world of our own. The glorious self-inhibition mercantile between emancipating souls' embrace, surface body tension. Vapors compile suggest expediency, leisures to efface separating ourselves from the world we know to one that is so complacent, holding each other our bodies unfurled, beholden to each other, both adjacent, consoling time in what direction is this creation of everlasting love, emerging existence in our time. 'Tis purely bliss, feeling so real, for we are diverging the unknown, until a time that is now reflects the love our future did avow. Love's isolation was a smile from you, deciding not to leave paradise now, for we were not lost, but to find and to bring the blooming passion back. Wow. What you are doing, we are found able, 'tis abundantly clear, discernment things, thou hast fixed the earth firm, immovable, an object such as this I am holding, the pleasure-seeking optimal movements of come when you can, unfolding the extent to which the inner cement, I mean truly, the thrill we are holding, a blessing when the world comes to an end. What lies beyond us now, 'tis a godsend.
Yeah, and there's an annotation note. It says Psalms, for those can shake the immovable earth, what there is of love. So this sounds like a really nice person. I think they have pretty much a perfect relationship. E1, I heard you speak up for a second. Would you like to comment on this piece by Titus?
Yeah, I think it's a sensational gift that I see in other people. It's just amazing how one word leads to the next. Some people know how to bend that word and turn that word, and this person knows how to do it. He knows what he's talking about the whole way through this person. They carry the reader all the way through it to the end, leaving them without quite a great ending. I thought it was great. That's all I got to say.
Thank you for that comment, one. You who speak so often of the maker. What about you, Papa, and this piece by Titus?
Love's isolation was a smile from you, deciding not to leave paradise now, for we were not lost, but to find unto, bring the blooming passion back. Wow. This poem speaks to me of like the classic love never dying, undying type accent. There's a lot of moving parts to this. It's very heartfelt, passionate, and in some ways there is a small illusion of religion in the very ending, which is very uplifting, and I really found it very creative, and Titus's read was very passionate. I like the somber tone of his voice, and it's just a very pleasant read, very charming.
Thank you very much for the feedback, Papa. I'm sure Titus appreciates all the praise. David Prophet, what would you like to say, sir? All right. I think David Prophet might have dropped. So next in line, Corey. What about you?
Where do I start? Simply put, I love the name of the piece. I think the title of the piece itself definitely resonates with the actual delivery of the piece. I love the calm, tranquil delivery with the sound cloud, I thought that was really nice. I actually had to read through it again while you were just talking to other people because I missed a little bit of it, so I had to read a bit of it again myself. But it screams to me like Tudor Elizabethan time kind of poetic writing. Maybe Lord Byron, something like that. Titus has got away with words. He really is a wordsmith. And so, some of the lines that he chosen to piece together this is beautiful. Like, for example, love's isolation was a smile from you, deciding not to leave paradise now. For we were not lost, but to find unto, being the blooming passion back wow. Thou had fixed the earth firm, immovable. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. There's just so much tranquility and calmness about this piece as well. It feels like a love. It feels like a love sonnet, but at the same time, it also feels like a message to the world itself, as if to say, "Look up your ideas, otherwise this could be our final few years." So yeah, thank you very much for sharing that, Titus. I absolutely adored it, sir.
Great feedback, Corey, for Titus. And Boston, would you like to comment on this?
Sure. I just think it's just like he said, a world of our own, and he's just describing how beautiful their love is together and separating ourselves from the whole world as their bodies unfurl. And it's like it's just the two of them, and everlasting love emerging existence in our times is purely bliss. It's just it's a beautiful love poem to his bride, and thou hast fixed the earth firm and immovable, and it's tangible, and they will never leave each other. So it's just pure beauty. We all think love, right? I know I do.
Yes, definitely, Boston. And we lost Dennis Allen. He's gone for the night, or whatever hour it is on the internet. Who knows?
He on hold.
Boo.
He on hold until I listen to the rest.
Yeah, he came back. Dennis must be dropping.
There's so much cross talk that I
can
can barely hear anything.
He can't hear.
Yeah, there's a bit of feedback inside the studio. We have another caller.
No, I didn't mean that. It's cross talk from another channel. These are channels, I guess. I don't know where it's coming from, but it sounds like all the time.
Very well.
It's a feedback noise. What I'm hearing.
Sounds like CB.
So the other caller on the line,
we should call in.
There.
Call in yourself on your own phone, and you'll hear it.
Laughing Soul. I guess she's not speaking up. Can you hear us, Mr. Soul?
She'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right, she'll be back. Tell me once more, Mr. Soul on the board. To continue with our recital, then, I'm glad that you can make it back, Dennis. Who knows what's going on with Blog Talk? That's our constant nightmare. But, yeah. Next on the recital list is Papa Terminus.
I'm looking forward to this.
All these nice, soft, lovely poems, and here comes the darkness. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Left alone, screaming in the corner. Test patterns on my television set. Static in the attic, broken remote control. Outside this window, there's nothing but snow falling through crevices. Focus. I saw a scarecrow preaching out from a soapbox. A congregation of crows out in the field. Children play hide and seek. Laughter of their ghosts still haunts me. Shivering in the cold. Focus. Leave me drowning in the utopia. You left me screaming in the corner, casting poles in the river, fishing for religion and for hope. Focus. You hit me with a newspaper, leaving an imprint of headlines on my backside. I'm not Pavlov's dog. Won't rule on demand, holding my breath until I'm a bluish hue. Focus. My rocking horse, it's been broken for years. Been invited to swim in a dead sea. Shaken awake from slumber, embracing this dystopia.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the author's note here. It's a contest honoring the art of Joan Pope. And we are screaming, but nobody hears because of all the interference of outside forces cluttering the mind. Quite liberating for you to write. And I guess I can see what you're saying here. The imprint of the headline being broken because of not achieving what you want for years, swimming in a sea of different kinds of chemical stimulation, embracing the thought of just narrowing your mind to dystopia. Yeah, there's definitely plenty of politics in this, right? And how what we have to really primarily do sometimes is just that focus. How do you feel about this piece, Dennis Allen?
I read it while he was reciting it, and I really liked the images. I'm not sure I grasped all that he was saying, but it seemed like his focus was moving from one vignette to another. Leave me drowning in the utopia. You left me screaming in the corner, casting poles in the river, fishing for religion and hope. So those are little glimpses of the reality that his mind is sharing with us, and then he realizes that he's kind of drifting off into another view, and he's reminding himself to focus. And then when he does, it has so much impact. You hit me with a newspaper, leaving an imprint of headlines on my backside. I thought that was great. I'm not Pavlov's dog. Won't drool on demand, holding my breath until I'm a bluish hue. So it goes from the dog to the rocking horse to the fishing, the crows, the scarecrow. So to me, it's like disjointed views of his own reality, and he keeps reminding himself to focus. And and he compares these with test patterns on a television set. So that's my comment. I liked it.
Thank you.
Test
Yeah, I
pattern.
like it too.
Yeah, that's they call the color spectrum band. What do you think about this, right, Boston?
Yay! Well, at the beginning, the test patterns, it's been a while since we've seen that, but he goes into the static in the attic and the snow. It's like the test patterns is just like people would just watch them and kind of get mesmerized and get lost in them and lost with them. So to me, it's like he's trying to clear his mind of all of that. The crows remind me of the scarecrow, and the crows remind me of the sheep and wolf clothing. They, being a Christian, they say the hypocrites there's plenty of them at church, and I think in these times right now, I'm seeing more and more of that. for the congregation of crows, there's a lot of people squawking, and I've gone through a situation where I had a roommate who claims to be a Christian and has stolen like $20,000 from me. So she plasters her Facebook with Christian memes, but a thief and a liar and all those kind of things. So the part about the corner, I think there's just so much we could do, and sometimes that's all we can do because there's nobody really listening. Trying to focus, trying to stay, I don't know, mentally sane, trying to stay focused on your task at hand, not to get, like if you get attention deficit, not to get pulled in different directions, because there's a lot of bling going on in the world and a lot of ugliness, and it can take you off your own course. And I love the imagery with the newspaper. That was a great one. And like, I'm not going to, Pavlov's dog, I'm not going to hold my breath for you to get better, for it to get better. So I need to do what I need to do. And the rocking horse is like, it's like when the rocking motion is how we cradle ourselves, how we calm ourselves. So I think, and the fishing line is like fishing. It's like the river Styx is fishing, fishing for something in life to hold on to. So I didn't find it as abstract as maybe you, because I think that way. So to me, I love. Yeah.
Couldn't get enough. One of your best, Papa Chairman, like all of your work. So, how about you, Corey? What's your reflection on this piece?
I've noticed something in this. Maybe I'm just looking at it for what it actually is, rather than looking at the bigger purpose of the piece. But I've noticed, in regards to talking about stuff like utopia and fishing and laughter and soapbox and remote control and TVs, newspaper and rocking horses, I've kind of noticed a bit of a pattern here, that it kind of symbolises age of maybe from infancy to childhood to teenager to adult, and it kind of like it keeps going back and forth as well, so it's kind of like a yo-yo. Not to mention as well, it's got elements of dark. It's not as dark as Papa's normal stuff, which is a damn shame. Papa, you owe me one, brother. But it's a really, really nice piece, and it's very thought-provoking on the understanding of, it seems to be, it's a whirlwind of emotions and a whirlwind of memories that are basically being crafted into one. So yeah, it's a really nice piece. But I do see the elements of age from infancy to teenager to from infancy to childhood, teenager to adulthood. So I can see that myself. And my favourite line: I saw a scarecrow preaching from a soapbox to a congregation of crows out in the field. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Brilliant, brilliant piece, Papa.
Thank you, Corey.
You're welcome, brother.
All right. And before we get our next comment, I just want to do my acknowledgments real quick before we run out of 2.5 hours and switch off the off-air time. I'd like to thank Sunday Night Public Poetry, Mrslilboo, Play the Black by Metallica, piano instrumentals, classical music, score sheets, Dennis Allen, Alaska, Eco-Conservatism, David Prophet, Eastern Food, Classic Model Mobiles, Lady A, Lion King, Boston, Wordsmith Vampire, Renewal of All Elemental Forces, Spring, Timothy at Club H, Grandmaster Flash and P, Titus Hewen, quotes from Rolling Burrows like Hustlers of the World, Laughing Soul, We Are Gonzos, Robin Williams, The Dead Poet Society, Jason Priestley by Gods and Monsters, Harco Parko, E1 Anonymous, PM Murphy, Weaver of Dreams, Papa Terminus being on the board, and the Legend in Person. So, I was wondering, Laughing Soul, did you manage to get back?
Yes, fine. Hi. Oh, that's funny for me.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for being here, Mrs. Soul.
Hey, hi, Soul.
Hi, dear. Hi. Hello. Hi. Austin, who else? Yeah. I think we are almost done, right? The show's getting over or something.
Did you happen to hear the last piece by Papa Terminus, Mrs. Soul?
No, I just came in. Sorry.
All right. Lady A, what about you and Papa Terminus's poem?
Yes, let me see, I had it all formulated in my head. Basically what I see in this is we give our, the metaphors are quite good in here, but it's about people and their relationships I can see. And, I have run into so many negative people and been hurt by even more. And I have come up with this idea or this kind of mantra that I have now is that I'm not responsible for what they think or what they say. They're responsible. They will have to answer to for themselves. We can only be responsible for ourselves. When we have a focus on people hurting us, and I'm talking to myself when I say this, is that we have a tendency and the danger of having it fester and cause us to become bitter. And so I'm learning every day to let go of crap that's painful. Sometimes you want to just jump up and down and say, listen to me. I just want to say, and it's impossible because they don't want to listen to us. I thought this was the way you wrote it was interesting with the metaphor, and ultimately your rocking horse has been broken for years and have been invited to swim in a dead sea, shaken awake from a slumber, embracing this dystopia and focusing on yourself. And, I thought that you did a really good job in writing this.
Beautiful feedback there. Yeah, I was touched myself. I almost broke down in tears. We still love Papa Terminus. But let's carry on with the recital. Why don't we? Boo, do you have anything else to say, or are we going to move on to Laughing Show?
Well, I was just going to say, the whole rocking horse, not me. You're kind of saying, like, hello, wake the fuck up. I was having to the kid or a child and weird. The shit's been working the whole time. You haven't really paid attention. I'm squeezing here. It's funny when you're not even seeing it. Kind of what I see. And how you're kind of disregarded. And it's a very emotional, great job. I don't know if you heard me, but okay, ready for soul? You ready, Soul?
All right, Boo. So we're going to do Miss Soul?
Yeah, you didn't hear what I said, or did you? I don't know. Something's on my phone.
Yeah,
Soul,
there's feedback coming on the line.
There's a lot of feedback, guys.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Yeah, very, very annoying.
We tried, like last time, sounds all the callers, but it was still there, Boo.
It sounds like a transformer arcing on the phone is what it sounds like. An electric transformer.
We're going to Soul. No, it's not you, Boo.
Razz, I've got an idea, bro. How's about we mute everybody minus?
We did that. I tried that.
All right, fair enough. Oh, Laughing Soul's muted.
When I read, though, when you muted everything, I didn't hear any noise. It was after that I heard noise.
No, one by one, everyone at the same time, and that little popping noise, whatever it is, kept on humming.
Noise is side. I think she's in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's in the car, that's like yeah. Anyways, let's go on. Yeah. Hello, E. Hello, Andrea.
Hello, darling.
How have you been, Laughing Soul? How's it going on over there?
Yeah.
You can't fix it till you figure out where it's coming from. So
just mute everybody and I'll read it. Then you can unmute them. But
we'll try like that and see if it goes away for a second because it's calling.
It's fine now. I'll just read, yeah? Let me rest, no more in pieces. I never wanted to climb the Everest or even hike a feet for God's sake. All I wanted to do was sit at the feet of that majestic Himalaya at a swanky cafe and enjoy a steamy tuppa. It was you who saw a Sherpa in me, or a Yepi. It was you who wanted me to be a warrior instead of a soul carefree. It was you who tried feeding me burning coals, but I kept exhaling love every season, every damn season, blistered and cold. I never wanted to clean dirty laundry or be that model you fantasized seeing me. All I wanted was to have stretch marks, a gift of motherhood, a gift of womanhood. All I wanted was to cook for you and be a doll. But it was you who thought I was some trophy, a piece of art snatched from the world to be flaunted with pride. Yes, I was priceless, a treasure to be cherished for life. Not till my body didn't show up its wrinkles. Not till my body didn't show up its wrinkles and holes. I was not someone you'd abuse because you almost saw in me that one sparkling gold. I kept washing the dirty laundry of your God-forsaken words, those daggers that so bluntly pierced. I kept forgiving and forgiving, even would start my day forgetting the bruises of last night in my soul. But you forgot how to repair those little ends. You forgot the art of kitsugi. You forgot that cracks can be mended with love. And I then forgot to forgive, for I remembered I was priceless. I am still stuck, maybe in a cracked mirror of that cafe or in an unhinged cradle of past. But I now plead to you with a sore heart. Let me rest my fallen petals in the broken ways the dust comes calling. Let me rest now in peace, not no more in pieces. End poem.
Yes, definitely. And it shows here that sometimes you can't be what someone else wants, but it's most important to be yourself. That is Alan. How do you feel about Laughing Soul's poem?
I liked it, and I especially liked I never wanted to clean dirty laundry or be that model you fantasized seeing me. All I wanted was to have stretch marks, a gift of motherhood, a gift of womanhood. It's so rife with honesty, integrity, and a person determined to express that they wanted to be themselves instead of what somebody else wanted them to be. That was like an impossible task. Climbing, she didn't want to be a Sherpa or a Yeti. or a warrior instead of a soul carefree. So I really like it because these are the things that need to be said face to face with your partner. Stop trying to make me into what you want me to be and accept me as the person I am.
Thank you.
Definitely, you can only be one person. You can't be what someone else does. Like I was saying, I agree with Donatella there. What do you think about this? Are you still on the line, E1?
Yeah, I'm not here. I just wrote something for her, and I said this, and this is why I'm saying this as well. You're worth every word of this. You speak for a lot of women, but the greatest woman that you speak of is the truth unconditional for yourself. Well written, and I'm so very glad. So very sorry for your pain. Yeah, I think that no one should ever have to suffer a long, drawn-out anything like that. No one should have to survive anything. I am a firm believer of that. I come from a past that made me who I am today, but before that, my parents had a hard time with me. You know why? Because I had been through a lot before they got a hold of me. I didn't know how to handle that kind of kid. Finally, they slowed down in my teens and listened finally. That's all most of us need. I think your writing is great, and I think you do write with a real firm direction that you're heading these efforts toward, and that's probably toward peace. That's all I can see. I'm really glad to read you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. You are a treasure yourself. Thanks for being so.
God bless you.
All right. And what about you, Corey?
This is a very heartfelt, basically being pulled on the heartstrings piece of poetry. This is a woman, I can honestly say this is a woman that has been hurt so many times that she's actually questioning. I bet she's got to the point where she's questioned her own existence, and now she's got past that part. She's actually thinking better for herself, but she's also feeling quite lost. And she's feeling lost in the aspect of all she wanted was the gift of motherhood and a gift of womanhood. In other words, she's pining to be a doting wife and a doting mother, or at least a doting partner and a doting mother. She's pining to have the respect and the acceptance of being a woman without the restraints and the backlash of people taking her for an absolute mug. This is a woman that's headstrong. She realizes what she wants, but she also realizes maybe at this moment in time, I now need to look at myself and not worry about other people at the moment, because it seems to me that she wants acceptance, but she realizes at the moment that's not possible, and she's trying to accept the way and where she is in life at the moment herself, and hopefully within the near future somebody comes along and actually supports her, respects her, and loves her for being who she is, and that's ultimately her own personal self. Beautiful poem, Laughing Soul.
Thank you for such a beautiful comment, my dear.
You're very, very welcome.
That was very insightful of you to say, Corey. As you see, everyone is trying to be supportive as possible. You're a sweetheart, Laughing Soul. You're definitely a heart and joy to all who know you. What do you think about this piece, Boston?
I say you go, girl. You let him have it, and it's like, you know, I don't know how more intimate than you can get by saying you wanted the stretch marks. I mean, to give a man a child is one of the utmost gifts of your heart, and you know, you didn't want to do the laundry. You're not here to be his maid, but you know, I just say pour it all out, get rid of the crap, get rid of whatever is holding you back with the same kind of fierceness as you put into this right, and don't look back. You know, people like this that make you feel this way or that you've given yourself to, completely.
Yeah.
And almost like, you know, when Tony's right with that love, like yours was one-sided. His, fortunately, is both-sided, where he can write. The only way he can write that is because he has. So your heart is full of pain and like it's like a dissertation of everything you feel, and it's something that it's, you know, targeted for. If that's really a person, I'm definitely going to. If he's made you feel this way. So I just pray that you can move on and you can just kick him to the curb and not even give him another thought, another second of your time or another breath. You're too beautiful for that.
You're such a darling. I know you are hardly 30. Thank you.
What? What did you say? What did you say?
I'm just a bubbly 30-year-old. I know that.
Oh.
Thank you, Boston.
Language,
such a joy.
Girls.
Like, I
So,
wanted to
Lady
read
A,
Razz.
would you like to respond to this piece by Laughing Soul?
I think. Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
you can.
Sorry. I think it was beautifully written and full of genuine love of herself and showing that she's worthy of love from someone else. I think for women, I don't know if it's the same for men. Maybe it is, but I think for women, you know, we have our hopes and our happiness set on having a man. It's like we're not fulfilled unless we have a man. The children thing I understand because the clock does tick and there's only a certain amount of time that we can have children. But there's worse things. There's a whole lot worse things than being alone. You can be alone in a relationship. You can be alone in a marriage. And
very true.
Yeah, and to me, and it takes a long time to learn that. I'm older than you are, but I think, you know, we can get to the place where we trust our own selves. We trust that we know better for ourselves and we stop looking for a man to make us happy, because the only person that's going to make us happy is ourselves. And in the process of it all, anyone that comes along into our lives after that is just icing on the cake. We have to realize that we're worth more than finding somebody who doesn't treat us well. And I know we can all sit there and say, there were red lights flashing, telling us, stay away, it's not a good thing, and we just ignore those instinctive feelings. So it's, you know, we all have lessons to learn. This has been a hard one for you, but you're worth more than that. You're worth so much more than that. And this is where you begin to love yourself and screw the rest, because if they're not willing to love you as they love themselves, you know, this goes for men and women, then, you know, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the agony of trying to make somebody love us when they don't.
Can't put a round circle in a square, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my poem is a mix of everything. Like a woman goes through, you know, especially in India, as a girl child, you know,
today, like there are so many expectations. Like a father wants his daughter to be a doctor, or it's with men as well. The ambitions of parents are kind of in the school bag and hung on the child's shoulder, not realizing what the child actually wants to be. And that's even today. Like in India, there was nothing. You just had to be a doctor or an engineer or
I think you come from a part of the world that there's a tremendous amount of stress, much more for women in your country.
I know as a child, if I got 80% out of 100 in math, my dad would hit me and tell me why not 90. So I have, and I was a very carefree, very naughty child. And it happens, I think, then you get married and then your husband leaves you for a younger girl because you have put on weight. And why? Because you had a miscarriage, So this has bits and pieces of my life in every different state. Even today in my 40s, you get to hear harsh words from family. And I'm a very forgiving person. I wake up in the morning. I find my happy bubble, But there is a moment in your life when you stop forgiving, when you no more want to, And that's the most dangerous threshold when you reach there. That's the most dangerous. But yes, that's when I think you start respecting yourself. And but I'm a very people's person, So this poem holds bits and pieces not only of me, of many women, And I'm a very love-hungry person, My food for my soul is love, basically. And I have always given respect to the second place. So, and it was written to this quote, actually. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you by Maya Angelou. So, thank you, everybody, thank you so much. Sorry, I went a little personal.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're a beautiful soul.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
We love you so much, soul, so don't worry. You've got a family here. And even this crazy Englishman, even this crazy Englishman respects you, and that's saying something.
Gosh, I'll start crying. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, we were gonna do Boo's piece, but right now we can't find the link, so I'm going to remind real quick. This is called The Hidden Woods. So here's the poem, The Hidden Woods. Sidewalk, accidental, bump in public. Pickle Me Elmo takes the cold beer of the proposed six-pack. Encourages the gang of the community neighborhood prices on Cutler Ridge. Ted Hut Power Station. Water the whole hole for $10. I'll spend every cent over a toll booth. Then the beggar attention span. Red team spearfishing. The doom is a scroller. A decent holiday road trip from hell. A million by the RVs to millions of desperate status. We don't pose a significant threat to interstellar travel. Alien life forms of massive cosmic proportions. Imagine the microtransmitter life. ASMI, laced with wild honey oats and the horse barley, a theory of everything applied in the dotted margin. Why was the contact recently hitting all the bases? Dyson Sphere, unselected G-Force plank platform to open the cargo bay. Feral pigs rampaging, known as the most violent animals to man, as natural crimson storm abstract the light year, dividend novas. Angus the rock by which swearing in blood is the hovering Seahawk. Fiddler crab snap, the sandcastle couplet erected, beaches canvas, burlap bag of muck, piled high sand. Keeping wizard, doubting Tom's cock crow, bullfinch harking, until they're all serving you loneliness and showing you the doors. Cataract blemish, vitamin stigmata, corona rod cone, diamete. Berry field, thawing frozen caddy with the top down speed control, test drive cruise. Flashback point entails transformation, reanimation. The 11th hour has preceded the Watchman Patrol. Swim. Swim. Fittest, trimming to butcher, the birthday cake icing pops. Arundel discovery by the end of March. Lucifer, morning light, a redshift paradigm, the oldest 28 billion years old wandering star. Infinite nothingness, it is my turn to last, to stay. Penance, repeal, repentance of the hunting, Diana's wood, to immortalize constellations and peace.
All right, Razz.
And Boo, are you back?
I think. I hope. Sorry. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, the humming's gone from the studio.
I got an update. The phone just updated in the middle of while I was doing what I was doing. That's what happened here. But, no, of course. Lady A, what did you think of that poem?
I don't have much voice right now, so you're probably...
Oh,
my God.
Boston will speak for you. Go ahead. Boston.
I got lost.
Yeah. What?
I just got lost.
You got lost? Yeah.
I guess
that's
yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. He takes a couple of E's. Who's still here? I don't know, Razz. Is Corey still here?
Oh, anonymously known as
Corey. I'm still here.
Okay. What did you
I'm here, brother. Yeah, man.
Raconteur.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Corey.
Hello.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I thought. Right. Let's carry on. I think it's a really nice piece, brother. I love the take you've taken on this. It feels like, I mean, when you mention constellations at the very bottom, I'm assuming that in regards to the name of the title, is it by any chance something to do with let me just have a look. It's looking as if to me like it's some kind of journey that you've been going on. Something that has happened over time, but in a short amount of time. There's a lot of knowledge here as well in regards to, like it says here, Arundel discovery by the end of March, Lucifer morning light, a redshift paradigm, the oldest 28 billion years old wandering star. Infinite nothingness, it is my turn at last to stay. Penance, repel, repentance of the hunting in Diana's woods to immortalize constellations. I had a feeling somewhere in here there was also something to do with astrology as well. When you mentioned constellations, I was thinking stars, as in stars itself. So a bit of space in there as well. Yeah, we don't pose a significant threat to interstellar travel. I think it's just a really nice piece, brother, and well done. And I'll be commenting right now, bro.
Yeah, I could, pretty much explain the whole thing, but then I guess it would kind of kill the point of having...
Let me go. Let us go. Just be quiet, okay? Let's go. Right?
Yeah. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, please. Jesus. Okay, go ahead. So...
Okay. The title, The Hidden Woods, and B, you talk about constellations and the stars, and somewhere you speak about loneliness. So what I get out of this is, it's about allow the stars to guide you through the roads and through the journey of life, through the unseen, unknown complexities of life, and this is what I get from this poem, because it was really very complex, Razz. I think this would it's very complex, but this is what I get, that seeking the help of guidance of the stars to guide you through your journey of life. Thanks.
Thank you.
I think that this is about love, and love lost, maybe, or you think is lost, possibly. And, you know, this person or whatever, just a little bit is enough for you, and that's sort of like what sustained you, kept you going. I like the line breaks. I will tell you, Razz, much better than the one long paragraph. Thank God. Yeah, that was much easier to read. So, let's see. Yeah. And then discovery, like the things that you somehow about yourself, you learned along the way, and that maybe helps come out of your shell, as just guessing. And then you need this thing to survive. And how much it means to you, you know, significant treat to interstellar travel, maybe that's the soft miles, you know. You think there's a lot going on, as everyone else does, but there's, I think, an intimacy and a deepness here in this piece. I don't know, it could be wrong. But, yeah, once you get to, like, stanza by stanza, you can see that, I think. And then the Hidden Woods, I'm not sure about the title. Or does that say wounds? My eyes are so tired. Does it say woods, right?
Hidden Woods.
I'm thinking nursing. I'm like, it's wounds, Jesus. Okay, so, yeah. I'm not sure what the woods is for, but other than that, I don't know, I think that's what I get anyway. So, what's up with the title? Hit me.
No, you see, there's this whole theory on outer space, and it's treated as a Drake equation, where if there's intelligent life in the universe, then there's a mathematical probability of how it can find or search out other interstellar frequencies. And so the woods is like a metaphor for that, outer space.
With those, you're talking about two people, right? Really finding each other? Is that what the under? I mean,
no, that's nowhere near what I'm at.
Oh, then I'm all up then. Then I just know.
I suppose I wasn't far off then, Razz. I wasn't too far off.
Yeah, Corey had.
No, I was WTF. I wasn't either, because I was watching face. WTF. Man, I always break out. I thought I was on something.
It's simple for us, you know. You get our brains back and just woken up, dude.
That's why we love your love poetry. How about this? How about you read a love poem, okay, ladies? Then you'll see. Then we'll all be able to comment. Pick a love one. Pick a love one, Razz, so we can for real. You deserve it.
You heard
Razz. Get one.
Yeah, he writes
because
love poetry really good.
All of us ladies are lost. We want to hear something else. Come on, I'll get one if you don't want to get it.
That's one thing. That's one thing that I cannot do very well at all.
No, it's okay. I'm not even reading it. I'm going to read. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm going to read one. I'll have you read one of your love poems so we can. You know, you deserve to be read and understood. It's just that, you know, sometimes it's not. You can't just read this kind of stuff right off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? So how about if we just pick
on astrophysics.
I'll tell you who's a science guy, and that's Dave.
Exactly, astrophysics. This makes sense. You know.
Dave could understand that. He's major science. Is Dave still on?
Yeah. Is Dave? No, Dave dropped.
Yeah.
Dave dropped. So anyway, Razz, I'm going to have you pick
all
one.
that.
I'm on.
Yeah.
Anonymous is on.
Anonymous. Okay, you hit us, Anonymous, while I get the other poem. Yeah. Enlighten us, please, because I feel like an asshole. Go ahead.
Enlighten us with what? The comment on the right, Razz is right? A comment you need from me?
Yeah, please. Yes, please. Help.
Oh, okay. Well, I just honestly think Razz is so incredibly smart. He blows me away with just some of the ideas, and they're not far-fetched because they're open. As he presents them, they're open-minded for everybody to discover with him what he's coming to see. Incredible how he does it, because he uses his intelligence as a platform toward peace, is from what I can tell. And there's nothing greater than that as a writer, a person, as a child, or a friend, you know.
that's pretty neat. I wish more of us could do that. He's not afraid to show how smart I am as a writer myself. That's one of my pride issues that I have. But he's not. He has not. Yeah, he doesn't hold on to that. He wants what he wants, and you can tell he's very well versed in the English language, at least. Some of the words I haven't heard before, which is interesting. This is a big old smorgasbord of things that I could learn from this man. As far as wording, as far as why they were placed, the way they were placed in the writing. He knows. I wish all of us would sit down and get to know how somebody first looks at a writing, and then finishes a writing, begins and finishes a writing. I like the way he does things. Very intelligent. And that's not to be frowned on. Very, very intelligent. Wonderful. Good job, Razz.
I'm not frowning. I'm aggravated with myself that I don't get it. Like, I'm always getting stuff. I want to get it. But anyways.
It was you and Adam who confused us for heartbreak. I heard it from a couple of other people who've been exposed to the poem that fell in love. But honestly, the subject matter here is astrophysics, what I mean by the hidden wood.
Well, how about if you read your new front page pick? I put it on the board for you.
All right.
Read that one so we can all get it.
On the point, I don't want to be the center of attention here, guys, but Boo wants to read this quote for you. So this was my front page pick.
I think it's great. I read it today. I think it's great.
It's beautiful. Everyone will get it, so that's good news. Okay, hit it.
Surrender. She rises like a morning dove. The previous dawns all weep and blush. The mother of all creation is a woman who upholds the concerto libretto to crooked men made of solar dust. Nature is ravaged naked by comparison of her cordial and prompt movements. The inspiration to go on living is part of the sacred bond, profane which lulls the orange-crushed diadem. 50-foot wells attend the resident city walls by which she would shrink off death with a staring contest kiss. Her shame thinking of others was the proposed solution of denial silences. She rose like an olive branch, fills the humid desert to blossom, to lavish wilderness. I recognized the absent negation in the rapture of surrendering to ethereal bliss. And poem.
There you go. Boom, lady.
I think I've heard it for the first time, and trust me, Razz, every time you read this in a higher level, a different perspective. This is such a gorgeous poem of yours. I mean, it's such a treasure. It's a treasure. Truly. Yes. I mean, to keep a woman with so much of passion, compassion, and, worth it's like, when you want to give her your all, this is beyond. This is so sensitive. It moves me every time I read this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's like an inspiration, a benchmark for somebody to, love a woman.
Yes, it's true. When you think of a woman, it's a place of not just philosophers to understand there's a certain wisdom there, which is kind of like the whole heart of this piece, surrender.
Yeah. Lady A, what do you think of that? Thanks, Jeeves.
Your heart, it's like, because when we write something, it's a major reflection of what we are. So, cheers, my dear. Cheers. This is amazing.
Thanks,
I thought it was very beautiful. Yeah, I'm not really.
Sorry, I forgot. My bad.
I thought it was.
Okay.
I did think it was very beautiful, and I don't feel bad if people can't understand your scientific mind. But I'll tell you, pick Dave Prophet's mind, and you'll get along. He's very, very smart that way too. And so, he writes things that go completely over my head because it's all scientific. So there are those scientists out there that appreciate what you do, and this romantic side was a treasure and a treat to listen to.
Agreed. Boston.
Yeah, I understood it. It was beautiful. She rises like a morning dove. You start off with. But, first it's surrender. So for men and women.
Yeah.
But if we have to surrender our inhibitions. If it's somebody we want to be with, we have to surrender all that would hold us back. And you end with that, And in order for ethereal bliss, the only way you can get there is if we get out of the way of ourselves. I love the vision of the last stanza where she rose like an olive branch, fills the humid desert to blossom into lavish wilderness, which it's like, to me, it's like the beauty, but then the wild side comes in, where you get that, boo, you get your freak on. But, so I think, I think it's provocative in that way, but at the same time, you just see her as this beauty that you don't want to negate, but you want to honor and to place her in high esteem. So I think she is that morning dove. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you. Corey.
You're welcome.
What'd you think of Mushy Gushy Razz over here? Just kidding, Razz.
Mushy Gushy.
Corey.
I'm gonna say it. I didn't understand it myself.
Are you serious?
But honestly, I'm being honest. I'm being honestly 100% truthful. I didn't want to bullshit him. I wanted to be honest. And there was some elements that I did understand, and some of the wordplay is absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to understand it. I've read it about 3 or 4 times just now, and I'm trying to understand it. Maybe I'm just not good at metaphors.
It's okay.
But it's regardless though, Razz, it is a lovely piece, and I do like the symbolism behind it. But it's very mystique. To me, it's very mystique because I can't get my head around it, bro. I'm sorry.
And we thought the first one was hard.
You know what's been good about this piece? It's brought on all kinds of conversation, and so when you can move other people, even if they don't understand it, gives great fodder for discussion, and that's great.
Agreed. Yeah. And don't worry if you can't get it. I get pissed at myself when I don't get it because I feel like, God, you should know. Everybody else knows. But then, everybody sees it different, so we shouldn't really get that way. But, sometimes it's really difficult. I'm always like that. And plus, it's hard to answer right away. You know what I mean? I got to read it a couple times, think about it. That's what's weird, Lady A, about the whole, what do you call it, the other site, because they don't post the poems. You can't see them. And it's rough for me because I got to take notes. I got to write it down, and so I'm not too good with memory things as it is. But anyways, Anonymous, what did you think of this lovely front page pic of that?
Oh, from all the front page pic? Yeah, I commented on that earlier today. This is the first time I actually saw him let go and even possibly allow himself to be vulnerable. If you can do that, you can learn an immense amount, everything that you'll ever need to know, But we got to slow down and get silent and listen first. He listened to his heart. He wrote his heart, and it was very well exemplified on the page. And I don't think any of us writers can ask for any more than that. I think he did a really fun job. Real fine.
You kick ass.
That's it.
You kick ass, Anonymous. You're so sweet. Yeah, agreed, Razz. I mean, this is I've nominated this like 4 times before they finally put it up there. But we're used to seeing you do your stuff so deep, and so and just the name, surrender, like Boston said, giving it up, you're laying it down, you're willing to be vulnerable, willing to let it hang and be, weak, not weak in a weak, bad way, but weak in a good way. And like the admiration here is incredible. She rises like a morning dove, like she's a badass right out the gate, And then like the whole thing is this float wells, altered resident city walls. The olive branch I love. It's a brevity which you don't see many of yours. No offense, I'm just saying. You get, this is lovely. I think any woman would love to have this written for her, about her. The admiration there, and then ethereal bliss at the ending. Like, who said they're getting their freak on? Somebody said they're getting their freak on. I don't know if that's the title, but there's too funny. Yeah, hey, that's ethereal bliss. So. Blooming. Yeah. Yay, wait, we all need it. It blossom into lavish wilderness. That's beautiful. Yeah. Swoon-worthy, panty dropper, Razz. Yep. Freak on. Coming up after that one.
Love it. Well, boom. I just want to be out of the center of attention here. We have to proceed with our recital.
I'm embarrassing him now. Oh, I'm sorry, Razz. I'm going to stop. Sorry. Yeah, it's true though. A good poem does wonders for women. Throwing that out there. Anyway, so I think I'm done with Hanzo's in a minute, maybe. Oh no, it's still downloading. I'll just do mine and we'll end with his because I'm having a time converting SoundCloud to MP3. I'm working on it though. Okay,
but it's not really on
what
anymore. It's on like the sense of being tranquil. You saw the authors, right? Even for a love poem.
I prefer to call it a love poem.
Serenity.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, but it could be either way. Why are you saying she then?
Yeah, it's on someone, but at the same time, it's on serenity.
Right. So serenity is like deep feeling. In my opinion, your contentment, right? So.
But you're making it seem like I'm just throwing myself out there for anyone to read the poem and possibly start dating me. I don't know.
Any thought of that whatsoever. How
take a number, chick. Take a number.
You could write that. You could write that into the poem if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, either way, you're still exposed by the words that you've written there. What are we going to say, G?
Yeah.
Help me out over here. What were you going to say?
What? For what?
Me?
Yeah, I thought you said something, and we were going to say something else.
No, I said enough. It's just that, those who don't know the music.
Doing it right, I'm wrong. Yeah. I'm striking out tonight. Striking out. Okay.
Now, if you're going to push me, I'll let the cat out. So let's just go to the next.
So anyway, mine's like real easy to understand, I think. So, I'll dumb it down for y'all. Just I ain't going to even go there. Anyway, so I'm trying to do something. So this is fragrant choices. Oh shoot, I got to make my font bigger. Too blind right now. Okay. Fragrant choices. Okay. If love was a color, what one would you choose? A bright red bouquet or ocean full of blues? The color of fall on a soft afternoon, or would you decide on the color of your sorry? Would it be a deep green of a walk in the park or a brilliant sunset as the day is growing dark? Maybe the color that beats inside of the heart. With so many colors, where would you start? Could it be a color of spring as her flowers that bloom, a gold wedding bells ring on a Sunday afternoon, a mud-red country road on which to whistle a tune? Or would you pick them all if only you could choose? End poem.
Oh. Yeah, so
that's a very good question. If you had a choice, which way would you go? It's kind of a bit of a take there on Robert Frost. That I reached that moment in life where I could have made a left or a right, and all of that made a difference. So, what do you think, Boston, on this piece by Boo?
Well, the last thing is if you could choose them all. I mean, why would we want to choose them all?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Only a fool would say no to that. But it was a pretty beautiful description. If love was a color, I mean, what would you choose, and how would you see it, and what would you bleed through? So it's a beautiful thought, and I think just the things that you bring into that are visually inspiring and something to take note of, like the afternoon, the color of fall, the sunset at the park, the wedding bells. I would love to see a handheld here, or just something that's real intimate, that as soft as a touch.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I can remember, when you get to a point in your life when your mom becomes your enemy, or you think she's on the other side of the
right as we speak.
Yeah. So I can remember, and this is how with that thought. My mother has passed away, and she was my best friend. I can remember a time when, like my daughter and I, we just butt heads a little bit. But there was one time we were sitting in church, and I took her hand, I held it. I remember that. That is something that I can put in a glass jar and look at it all day, kind of thing. So that human touch would be what I would color love with, that touch. So anyway.
No, I feel you, because my daughter and I used to go to church all the time too, and then that's like the time the cell phone was off. We were snuggling, her head was on my shoulder. We're getting close, quiet, and just like together. That's the times that I miss. Now, today she's 18 years old and she barely talks to me, but I'm working on that. But yeah, I feel you.
I'm 36. Yeah, I'm a good babysitter though, and I do her laundry in the house. But
Wow, can you come over here? No.
Anyway.
It's one of those phases where all kids, they resent their parents in their late teens and then change their mind by their early 20s.
Well, I even baked her a cake today. She hasn't even been home. I don't even know where she is.
They're trying to become who they're going to be, though. So it's not you. It's just they're trying to stand on their own and trying to find who they are. So it's not really much about you as much as what they're trying to do and creating who they are. So.
Yeah. She doesn't have to do it with the attitude, though, you know what I mean? But you just got...
Was this on your daughter, Boo?
She just got an attitude, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Never mind.
But don't we all?
Yeah, that's true.
I used to smack my tongue like at my mother. Oh my gosh, if my dad did it to me, I wouldn't slap her, but I would want to. It's terrible what we put our parents through. Or roll our eyes. Come on, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
You know what?
I hate the Yeah.
I have a daughter that's addicted to drugs, and the last thing she said to me, and it was a year ago, was, "Fuck off, you piece of shit."
Yeah, that's terrible.
And she's not a teenager. And so, you can love your kids, treat them the way they need to be treated, love them, protect them, shelter them, teach them, and you're not guaranteed anything. And it's a hard road when you have things like that happen. And anyways, I won't say any more because it's a hard road. And when you think about all of the things and how much you love them, and they don't love you back, and there's not a thing you can do about it. You could plead and cry and go on, and there's nothing you can do about it. So when they're teenagers, it's a normal growth and development stage where they think they know everything. But when they're 30 and 40 years old, no.
Yeah, that's true. But, you know, if I would have said half the shit she says to me, to my mom, I would be dead. There would be no way in hell. Like, so, you know, but,
I hear you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry.
You know, I told her, if you're so grown, you're 18 now, so you can get going. Then, you know, you want to go make it, go make it.
Here's your suitcase.
You'll be back, I guarantee. You know what I mean? But
suitcase.
So anyway, I baked her a cake last night, and she hasn't even. I don't even know where she is. She's not even home. So, but thank you.
Kids are hard. Oh, they don't tell you all this shit when they put that little baby in your arm.
Yeah, and that seems like yesterday.
And my kids were stuck to me like glue. Like they were
her too.
So like it's really hurtful. Yeah.
I look at my grandfather, and that was what the poem was. You know, when I was talking about washing dirty laundry. You know, your loved ones, they don't realize what they say. And because we love them, we keep forgiving. You know, this is the boundary of words that I'm talking about. And I think, you know, love has that power that you can, you know, forgive and forget to the extent of your soul being ripped apart. That is love, you know. You know, according to me, Boo, your poem is so beautiful, but love, according to me, is colorless, just like the air that we breathe. You know, it is so important, but doesn't choke you with its presence. You know.
Well, there's a line because I'm at the end of it now. Like I can't do it anymore. I can't get kicked in the face anymore.
Right.
It's too much.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the most dangerous threshold where one person reaches, because that's the time when you are hung to the last cord, you know. So either the person gives you his hand and, you know, brings you up back and you are together again, or the cord just breaks. So that is the most, that's last leap. But we can still stay hopeful. That's what I said, you know. Love is something which you color the way you both feel, you know, and the colors bring you together, not tear you apart.
Yeah.
See, the color of love, red, can also be danger. So, love in itself, your poem is beyond beautiful, my darling. I was actually going to give a very fun comment. I mean, you know, I can't resist it, but should I? Boo?
Okay.
According to me, it was like it all depends from which country the present lover is from, you know. So the love of the ocean, the love of the desert, the love of, you know, the flower of that country. And I have seen somebody jump from India to Caribbean to, you know, I don't know where. Suddenly the poetry changes, you know. So love, I don't know if it is love or what, you know. Even the gemstones change and the colors change of those gemstones. And so for some people, love has actually no meaning, you know. So you get me, girl, right?
Yeah, those are cute zirconia. They're not the real thing.
Yeah, it was all bullshit. So you just be who you are. You are amazing, Boo. And yeah, love is the color of your heart, which is beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks so much, so.
So, Corey, let's have a male perspective on Boo's Right.
I think it was a very beautiful, intense, invigorating, passionate piece of poetry. I love the flow of the piece. I love the euphemisms that are used inside the piece as well. If love was a colour, my personal preference is if love actually was a colour, it probably would be white. And what I mean by that is white is like obviously heaven. It's the innocence. So to me, it's just innocence. would it be the deep green or of a walk in the park, or brilliant sunset as the days growing dark? This has got elements of, you see, in this one, I actually see this as obviously, yes, it shows its nature, but at the same time, it also shows this is definitely a form of love poetry, and it's very nicely done as well. And basically the comment that I just put to Boo was, beautifully written in delivery, a intoxicating vividness or scenic. The colour of love is human being and all creatures, great and small. Absolutely amazing. Well done, Boo. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Great comment. Thanks so much, everybody. Sorry to be down in this. Sorry.
Perfect, Corey.
I'm here.
E1, you still there?
I'm still here. Yep, buddy. Yep.
Anonymous could be one too. He won't continue the whole time, you know? Yeah.
One.
So what are we doing?
Are you going to comment on Boo's piece? And do you want one of you read before we close the show?
I couldn't hear that last part. What?
Do you want one of yours read before we close the show? You just post the link on the board and read?
Yeah, I've got one. I thought it would be pretty neat because I think it goes along the lines of everything we talked about tonight.
We're in overtime hours now.
I think his, I think, not his, God, what am I saying? Her writing is amazing. She's always impressed me every time I listen, read, get a glimpse or anything. She's honest. And I see no place in here that would lead anyone toward anything but a full understanding of what she's talking about. I have a hard time getting to that point in my first stanza if I write one, let alone the rest of it. So I am always, I'm not necessarily, I appreciate when people know what they're doing and they can do it well. They don't boast about it. They don't beat their chest. They present it as another perspective, to take into life. And she's always good. Her perspective is very open-minded. So she's honest, open-minded, and I bet you also that she's willing to do anything that she can within reason for anybody. That's why I like her. She's honest. She's open-minded. She's willing. And the first letter of those 3 words spell how. And maybe that's just how to live. You don't see many people doing that naturally, but I see her doing that. I see her doing it in everything she writes and speaks and does. And if you can do that, you've gotten somewhere in life. I believe in it. That's just me, though. So I've always been impressed with your writing.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Great job, bro. Great job, bro.
Thank you, Lonnie. Oh, thank you so much. You made me smile. Thank you. Everybody, thank you.
You're an inspiration to everyone who knows you, Boo. That's what I always say.
Still working on Gonzo, so doing I'm still working on it.
Do you have the poem that you want to share?
Yes, I do. I do. Just 1 second for me. Let me pull this up. Okay, good. I think I've got it here.
The link on the board, and then proceed to read, sir, if you can, please. Taking the podium.
I am right here. I just put it on the board. Does anyone want to read this for me?
I can if you want.
All right, we can find a reader. Corey.
Yeah, let's hear read it. Oh.
Corey.
Okay.
Corey.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, could you read E1's piece for us that's on the board?
No, not a problem. Not a problem. Let me just refresh the page.
Thank you, buddy.
Not a problem. Not a problem, sir. Okay. Just make sure I got the right one. Here we go. Nice to meet you as well, sir. Okay, here we go. Okay. At a glance, or written through the eyes of any mental illness, by E1. I was just glancing at the bottom of this page at all of the so-called famous poets. They're all of the greatest, including Henry or Harry Van Dyke. Hey, wait. How does a Harry Van Dyke become famous? Hey, really, for me, it's all for whatever works for the time and day, so what the hey right. All that I know is that if Harry Van Dyke can become famous, I know now that any of us can. So let's keep our chin up, friend, okay? Hey, so what's up with that gracious gentleman, Mr. Wadsworth Longfellow? I mean, what suggestion or advertisement rather, I bet that he just spilled himself all over the pages, and the good folks back then, in that time. Just love this. Yes, they probably all lapped him right up, lol. Oh, and what about that good old Anne Sexton? We all know what they were probably into. Hey, and yes, let's still not forget as well Sir Whitman. As a man, I feel that they carried within them the honest wit of them all. Hey, but this is all if any of us were to judge any book by its cover. Oh goodness. I just looked at the bottom of this page again. This turns out that this was Henry Van Dyke, not Harry Van Dyke. Hey, but I'm still hoping that you get the point anyway. End poem. Signed anonymously.
Thanks a bunch.
Okay, that was definitely interesting, E1, on all these literary terms and how did those names become famous. It's quite a good question, but at a glance, this sounds a little cliché. You can't judge a book by its cover, can you? What do you feel about this piece, Corey, since you read it for E1?
It comes across as a fan. It sounds like a fan that's been inspired by a said poet and said great literatures. It comes across as somebody that knows some of the older poets, somebody that respects the older poetry, and basically has a symbolization for the older poetry as well. All in all, I think it's a really nice piece of poetry, and thank you for sharing, E1.
I thank you very much for reading and for your comments, sir. It's good to meet you, Corey. That is Corey, right?
It is Corey, sir, yes.
Yes, our new host.
No, it's good, yeah.
Don't
like to call people out of their names. Thanks so much for reading.
So, Lady A,
very welcome,
I hear
sir.
that you're going to bed. Would you like to say a few words on this before you leave?
Hey, me.
Well, if I can squeak it,
Her voice is going
I don't have any voice.
The voice is going away.
Oh, God. I've enjoyed every poem that I've heard, but I have no voice left.
What did you do?
So sorry to hear about that for Lady A.
You can just write a comment. That's cool, sir.
Good night, everyone.
Sending.
Good night.
Good night, Lady A.
Go to Boston or G. Don't make your friends.
Boston. What do you feel about E1?
Well, I think it's cool because he just took a glance, and the reality is there's a lot of people that are down below, but any one of us could be in that lot. Some of us don't want to be in that lot, but I think when you picked out the Van Dyke, I thought of Dick Van Dyke, so that's where I went right away. But I don't know. I just think it was interesting the fact that there are so many poets and there's so many gifted people, and any one of us could be catch that lucky break kind of thing. Like the little gal that recited at the inauguration, she just blew up the day after. So her words are powerful, and so anybody can let that bluebird out as a thing. It's kind of cool.
Hey, thank you so much. I have to say that I just forgot what I was going to say. I have been doing that a lot lately, guys. I've been taking a lot of meds. Sorry. I got probably like 3.5, 4 broken ribs in my chest right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
How
coughed.
did you do that?
I had a little bout with pneumonia, so I coughed and broke. Yeah, but hey, life goes on, right? So
you're still breathing.
But yeah, I really appreciate what you had to say. It was very, very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Like I said, let's keep our chin up, right?
Absolutely. I don't count any of the family.
He's always spreading positivity. All of his poems are positive. He's always spreading positive.
If only I could live
Those
that
good
way.
vibrations don't die with you want. I can agree there, Boo. Mr. Soul, would you like to comment on this piece?
Yes, of course. And he's such a sensitive person, He is always right there trying to spread love and harmony. And his poem over here somewhere gives me the idea of what is in a name, It's a famous line, if we remember that what is in a name. But actually what matters is what's written on those pages, right? And yes, there are some poets and also famous painters whose work, it doesn't make sense to the common eye, It needs a lot of deciphering, Probably it was their own insanity that they painted or, vomited out words on the paper, which have got so famous that we wonder, like, oh my God, if he could become a famous poet or an artist, I think I can also, which our friend over here has right put it in his poem, and that is true. It all sometimes you don't need to try really hard to create a flutter in somebody's heart. It is the same thing, with art. Simplicity speaks for itself, and this does talk to me in these facts.
Thank you so much. This is the thing. I'm on medicine for the way I write, because sometimes I can't tell the difference if it's real or false. That's just my mental illness I have. But I do enjoy the mania, and this is one of my mania poems. I felt good for a minute, even with these broken ribs, and got some stuff accomplished today, and was happy. So, but this is where
you just talked about me being honest.
I'm sorry.
You just talked about me being honest, but you're honest. You talked about me being honest, but you're honest in all of your poetry. Mental illness, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They don't even want to go there, and I give you a lot of credit for doing that, because I could talk about that for days. How misunderstood and judgmental people are with that. You know what? You're an excellent writer. You've got a huge heart. You tell the truth in all your poetry. You're inspiring, and you don't know, you're a sweetheart. But besides that, your voice is heard. Don't ever think it's not. That's why I always love you and stalk you to come on the show, because we like your comments. And I love how you number all your poems. That's a cool idea. But, this
so I don't get lost.
Decreasing as time goes on, but it's still not fully understood. And you own it, you admit it, and you talk about it, and I give you credit for that, big time. And you know, you've got Anne Sexton in there, and you've got all the legends, Mr. Wadsworth. I mean, this is intelligent poetry, just like you are. Don't sell yourself short, my friend. And we love having you around here. It's a beautiful job.
Yeah, it's nice to be asked back somewhere. I didn't used to be.
You're always welcome.
So that's a good compliment. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Very
okay, now that I'm back probably enough for today, I will go on. So, thank you so much, Anonymous. Razz, we're just going to pick one of Gonzo's because I've had it with this one. Oh, hey, we should let Lady A Boston listen to the other one from Gonzo. Remember, Lady A, don't say anything. You know the one. I won't go there though if I can.
Yeah, so we're gonna end the show with Gonzo and then say our good night.
Yeah,
which one are you gonna do by Gonzo?
I'm just gonna pick one because I can't get this one to convert. I tried 7 times. Sorry, Gonzo. So we're just gonna pick one. Pick one, and I'll get the poem. You pick one from the studio, I'll get the poem. We've got plenty in there. I highly recommend the Hurricane one, but just saying.
Wow, can you find the poem? You shouldn't stare at the circus.
Shouldn't stare at the circus. Okay.
Hey, Pova, did you all read Weaver of Dreams?
Huh?
Did you all say Weaver of Dreams? I think she had a SoundCloud. She was like
Weaver of Dreams.
We played her
Weaver of Dreams.
Yeah.
She was like, last time everyone thought I'm a guy, but my name is Kate. I'm a woman.
You know what? No, there's someone there that wanted to read her today. I don't think we read her yet.
I think she got a SoundCloud. You know, I told her send your SoundCloud so we'll know you're a woman.
No, I think it's at the top. Like she sent it to me separate. Now I don't see her because I told her she'd send me back a link. I'll get that.
No worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we read Weaver, but no, there's another one. She sent it to me. I'll have to get that in a second. But which poem do you want? Razz?
Yeah, instead of You Shouldn't Stare at the Circus, let's go with a real classic, Weird Gonzo. You Are the Real Monster. I think that's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, that's
You're the Real Monster.
I love that one. Okay, I'll get that one. Okay, come on. Hold on. Lady A's going to love this one. She's still here. Okay.
Lady A has gone to sleep for the night, boo.
Oh, boss. We're all really like it here. This is really a clever fucking poem, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm getting it right now. Here we go. No. All right, play it.
All right, here we go. Gonzo.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah.
No. Hello?
I know. There's been some kind of delay here.
Okay. If it doesn't play, I'll read it then.
I think he does performance. So if it's not playing, then do it on the next show. The first thing.
It's a YouTube video, and I'm having problems with the YouTube converter right now. I don't think he would mind if we read it and then played it again next time, but yeah. I mean, I want to do something of his, so how about, can you read this, G? And then I'll play it next time. Don't be mad at me, Gonzo, but I just want to get something read of yours, okay? So you're going to love this poem. It's so good. G, can you read it, G?
Game 2.
Or you'd rather... Oh, there goes me. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or what.
Who, me? Me?
Yeah. Okay, I'll read it. Never mind. Okay. This is called You Are the Real Monster. And I will play it. I'll play it also next time, but this is just... I want to play something of his and not leave him off, so if he gets mad at me, he's going to get mad at me, so that's all right. Okay, so many hours spent harnessing the wheat store. Murderous thoughts left silently pending, hacked until... unknown. Saucy deserves a violent ending. Surely deserves, a violent ending. I shouldn't have read this one because I can't see very good.
No, because the episode's ended, boo.
Yeah. Okay, just read it, Razz. Just read it, Razz. Read it for him, please. Just read it.
No,
Which poem? You want me to read?
What the fuck? Somebody can read it. No, God damn it. Now
Just let me know the link. Do you want me to read it?
On the board. It's on the board.
All right, I'll read the
we are
poem.
all gone. You're talking about
I
all
hope
those
it
poems?
records anyways, but it says the episode ended, Boo.
So, well, still, you know what? He deserves to get some comments because that's 2 shows in a row now he got left off. He's going to be.
I'll read it. You are the real monsters by We All Gone So. Many hours spent harnessing the murderous thoughts left silently intending, hacked until identities unknown, surely deserving a violent ending. Oh my, who do I spy? Skulking in the shadows behind. You've been found, but I find we have no more time. This marks the beginning of something terrible, something primal, something unforgivable, something vile. So easily lost in narrow paths, slipping bodies in places rats to find, frying bacon after an arrow now, asking questions that split young minds. The bench deserving but a line has been crossed. They cannot begin to understand what I have lost. While they were seeking fun with reckless abandon, I mourn my son with no apology for what they've done. With world perspective turned upside down as what's left of my thoughts tumble across the ground. My sweet boy Jason was just a child, too shy to play and too meek to smile. You are the corrupter of his innocent soul. Now you deserve every reap that's been sown. The monster Pamela Voorhees deserves no rest underground. Ask what you would do if they stood by, laughing and pointing as your precious child drowned. And home. Yikes.
Yeah, and as it was, I know we've been through this discussion, but Friday the 13th, it had an effect on my generation when we were kids, so I can appreciate this, right? Jason Voorhees, I think those who saw the series when they were young, how can they not help but sometimes reminisce on Crystal Lake? Do you have any perspective on this, Corey? Did you see Friday the 13th over there in the UK?
Yeah, I've seen nearly all the films, but the thing is, as I got older, I realised, like a fucking idiot, when I was a child, I watched a lot of horror films. I watched a lot of Freddy Krueger. I watched a lot of Jason. I watched so much stupid shit. I mean, I was a big fan of the Scream franchise. I have pseudopsychosis, so I don't watch horror films as much anymore because, unfortunately for me, if I watch them, I tend to try to act them out in my head, and it makes me want to act them out for real. So I don't do it.
Win the world's most sought-after handbag, an Hermes Birkin or Kelly bag during Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel's $250,000 premium payout on April 30. Earn entries all month long by playing in any of our premium rooms, and you could be one of our 2 grand prize winners. This ultimate status symbol of exclusivity and luxury can be yours just by playing at SoCal's premier casino, Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Skip the wait list and play for a Birkin or Kelly bag today. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly. Fuel up for free. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel gives away gas cards every Monday in April to our Club Serrano members. Join for free and earn points to qualify for your gas card. Driving a gas guzzler? Want to switch up your wheels? Every Thursday, Yamava gives away a luxury car or cash. This month you can win a 2022 BMW X7 or up to $100,000 cash. Spring into a new ride this month, courtesy of SoCal's premier casino, Yamava. Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 or over to enter. Please gamble responsibly.